Hello, hello, hello. What is good? I am Lonee Appleton, and welcome to My Life as a Classroom. I'm here Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, welcome. Allowing the opportunity for people to get notified and to come into the live. And so I'm not talking to myself, but for those of you who don't know who I am a healthy family advocate, and what that means is I advocate for the reconstruction of families. Hey, Shay. So the way that families are typically running and functioning is a very unhealthy space that most of us have received, and it's actually passed down from slavery, the punitiveness to talking to each other any kind of way, and really using punishment as a form of dictatorship in our homes and maintaining control in our homes. So it is my platform to not necessarily define the next way to run your home, but to definitely find other alternatives besides creating trauma within your home in order as a way to maintain order in your home. So that's what I do here on my platform. I advocate for healthy relationships, better communication between spouses. I identified that we evolve. I identified that many years ago when I wrote this book, What's the Best That Can Happen, available at LoneeTaylorArt.com. But I identified that every 7 years, and this is scientific, we are a cellular new being. So every 7 years, not only are we physically, hello Cindy, welcome to the live, not only are we cellularly a new human, but also we are emotionally, spiritually, all the other mentally, all the other ways that we can evolve and change, we should also be evolving and changing those ways. So accepting stagnation as the norm in your life and being the same person you were the day before and the minute before, you should be rapidly changing as at high a frequency as you're able to. I constantly am evolving and changing and, cycling through me. Hey Nettie Boo, welcome to the live. Anyway, so that's what we do here. We just talk about life. My life is a classroom. I talk about my life. I talk about things that I see in the world. Hello Betty, welcome to the live. Things that I see in the world, and we have amazing discussions in the comment sections. We have amazing discussions, here on the lives. Everybody's always commenting and meeting each other and connecting. So if you're really looking for dope humans, this is a community to align yourself with, because we are all working on ourselves and we are all aware that we can always be better versions of ourselves. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And this is my life as a classroom. Last night I was laying in the bed with Dre and we were talking about star quality, so to speak, and how people begin to gravitate towards you as your energy starts evolving and changing. This kind of couples back to my story of standing next to Destiny's Child outside of the Staples Center, and nobody recognized them and everybody was walking past them because they were looking to be recognized by their faces. They didn't they didn't have star quality, star power, that energy around them. Now, I'm sure I can see Beyonce for sure. I can see Beyonce's energy from the TV screen. I don't need to be next to her. But a great example is a story that I heard about Marilyn Monroe many, many years ago, where she was talking to this one guy. They were strolling on the beach. He came to visit her, and they were strolling on the beach. He came to visit her, and she's like, "Do you want to see something really cool?" And he was like, "Yeah." So, she straightened up and she did whatever the hell she did. And everybody that was previously just walking by, not even noticing her, all of us like, "That's Marilyn Monroe, that's Marilyn Monroe, oh my God, that's Marilyn Monroe." So that proves my theory right there in that story, that there is an energy that you can tap into. And that's just like Oprah. Oprah can, I don't know. The Marilyn Monroe is a much more valid parallel because she shifted her energy. Now, Oprah looks so different with and without makeup. Like, we remember Harpo from The Color Purple. Oprah looks so different with and without makeup, that she can just leave her house without makeup and people won't recognize her. So that's the way that she's able to move around and those different things. But just certain people have a certain energy about themselves. And something that my husband has always had, we call it charisma, we call it whatever we call it, but my husband has always had a certain energy about himself. And people have always gravitated towards him. So last night I was talking to him and I was just like, have people started gravitating to you? And, when you walk into a place, do people surround you and want to know who you are? And he's like, no. I was like, well, that's not true, because ever since I've known you, you told me about your childhood group, that it's a group of 5 of them or something. Welcome to the live. It's a group of 5 of them or something like that. And, they are hometown celebrities. And he would always tell me about this, and I would just call him Al Bundy, because I'm just like, okay, Al Bundy, it's whatever year it is. It's 2020, is 2010, whatever year it is. We live now in the present, I'm happy you're a local celebrity back home. So I used to tease him about it until I went to one of his friends' weddings. We went back to, I think Indiana is where the wedding was, in Indianapolis. He's from Gary, but I believe the wedding was in Indianapolis. So we go back for the wedding, and the wedding is like standing room only. Like, you got there and got a seat, or you were standing. It was outside, so it was right off the parking lot. So there were people literally standing around on the sides. There were people standing in the background, and there were people standing in the parking lot to observe this wedding of this guy who was a part of this group. And, I don't think it's any secret. It's TMG, Too Much Game. He has it tattooed on his arm. You'll see it. I believe it's tattooed on his arm. TMG. So TMG was the SHIT in their day, and I used to tease Dre about it because he would always talk about it, him and his crew. But then I observed it at the wedding. Like, people were coming up to me just because I was married to Dre, like, oh my God, I've been wanting to meet you. Like, people were so excited to meet me because I'm married to the Lonee Appleton, and everybody was just, if we took a picture, or if I took a picture of one of the guys and somebody was trying to jump in the picture, like, it was crazy to experience the level of celebrity that my husband has back home. And he was like, see, I told you. I was like, you have been telling me, and I've been mocking you and laughing at you, but this is crazy. Like, you guys, it's crazy. So last night when I was talking to my husband, he was like, no, that doesn't happen to me. I was like, I literally went back to Gary, and I went back to, the people you grew up with, and yeah, they treat you guys like celebrities. And so you can't say that you haven't experienced that, because I've watched it and you told me about it before I seen it. So anyway, we were talking, and I was like, I identified something that I called the Al Bundy syndrome. Yes. Please shut my door. You see what I'm doing? Shut my door, please.
Are you doing a video?
Yes. Please shut my door. Please shut my door.
I'm meditating.
So I identified it as the Al Bundy syndrome. And the reason why I call that is, those of you who watched Married with Children, you understand how Al Bundy was. Hey, Big Rob. You remember how Al Bundy was stuck in high school? Polk High. Like, we all know what. How are you doing? We all know what. Hold on. Please stop and shut my door. What?
Let me get her.
Okay, now please go. You were in there playing. Please go play.
So,
Anyway, you know how Al Bundy always talked about Polk High. Love you back. Thank you. I always appreciate you stopping in and showing love. You can take those. If you make a mess, pick them up when you're done, okay?
and
Thank you.
then take them on my dog.
What?
Then take them on my dog. Put them.
Yeah, you can take all of them. Just pick them up when you're done.
Let's see.
But leave these. We're working on these. Anyway, so Al Bundy used to always talk about his glory days in high school. And so I used to always call Dre Al Bundy, because he would always talk about, his glory days in high school. And I'm like, okay, Al Bundy. And he was like, whatever. And so when we were laying there talking last night, I was like, I think that's why people who have a certain level of popularity in high school, I think that's why they don't move away from that space. Like, there's, I believe, 5 people that were a part of TMG. Dre and then these other guys. So they were all a part of this group that was extremely popular. Everybody but one has moved away from Gary. One stays there, and I was like, it makes me think about how, stop.
My face is up.
No, you dropped him on purpose, and you're making unnecessary noise, and I told you to stop. And so I was like, I think he's never moved away. Well, I don't know about him. I do. But I don't necessarily want to peg this to him, but he made me think his validity is in his past. You know, so when you think about, as you go through your life, your best years, when were your best years? And some of us, our best years haven't even happened yet. And, you know, those of us who have life figured out know that every year is our best year because we're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly becoming better versions of ourselves. So even if we're doing, or even if our physical world looks the same, because we are just caught in a perpetual Groundhog's Day, every day is the same unless we are doing something purposefully to change it and change us. And then now we are living a new day. Yes, I'm filming a live just like I filmed a live yesterday, but I'm giving new information and I'm experiencing something new. And I know in the past when I filmed lives, I would look up at that number and I would see that it's a low number, or I would see that it's 0. And, you know, my energy would be off because I'm just like, I'm sitting here talking to myself. But I evolved today, which means I am not in Groundhog's Day, i.e. repeating the same thing. And I'm filming today and I'm like, you know what, that number honestly doesn't matter because this is the equivalent of me filming a video. I sit and talk to myself all the time. Why is now different just because I'm on live? Nothing changes. So I need to check my mentality about that. So we evolve and change our lives in small things. Every time something triggers something with it. See, you're doing it on purpose, and that's the problem. And you're about to get kicked out my room.
With the dog?
And so, you know, even responding to my children, the way that I respond to my children is completely different than I responded to my children yesterday. I responded to my children the day before. I'm constantly trying to evolve a parenting plan. Honestly, I'm just trying to develop a parenting plan now that I don't parent the way that I used to. But I now know that active parenting for me, hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's something. Active parenting for me is actively staying on top of my kids. I've never really stayed on top of my kids. You know, I did the work to create, you know, the boundaries for them to be in a safe space, but all of the developmental things that they need outside of the standard things, like you guys are very familiar with my children. Those of you who are within the community are familiar with the community. You understand my kids, you know, they got the good foundation, but my kids are not self-starters. My kids have to be yelled at. It used to be the trigger, you know, you don't listen until I yell. And so moving from, okay, I have trained them not to listen to me until I start yelling because they know the yelling is right before the spanking. So once mommy starts yelling, I know I got to start listening. So I had to retrain my kids to have different responses to me besides yelling. But in that retraining, I repeat myself a lot. As you can see, you know, when I'm filming these lives and my 4-year-old pops in, I'm consistently redirecting him and redirecting him and redirecting him. But I would rather have to repeat myself multiple times and have those back and forth conversations with him than have him afraid of me. There was a season where, and I'm going to get back to Al Bundy syndrome, but there was a season where, you know, not even a season, a lifetime for some of them, because I have an 18-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old, that I would reach for my children and they would flinch because they think that I'm going to hit them. And I didn't like that. And I remember posting on my social media page back then when I recognized it. And I was like, I really hate when I reach for my kids and they flinch. They just automatically assume that I'm going to hit them. that said multiple things to me. But one of the things that it said to me is I only reach for my children because I'm going to physically assault them. Yeah, I'm going to, put my hands on them. You know what I'm saying? And so that means that more times than not, when I reach my hand towards my child, it is not in a loving gesture. I am not reaching my hand to my child to hug them. I'm not reaching my hand to my child to hold their hand. I'm not reaching, nothing affectionate is happening with this hand if when I reach towards them, they flinch. And something else that it told me was, my kids are afraid of me. And I don't want my kids to be afraid of me. But it's crazy when I posted that how many people got on there and said, oh, that's normal. Oh, that's normal. And I know there's some sort of human reaction to when things are coming towards you and, you flinch, you move out the way. That's a human natural reaction to that. I understand that. But also in understanding that, I think there's something that can be done. I don't think we need to receive, because me as an adult, somebody reaches towards me, I'm not flinching. So why are my kids flinching when I reach towards them? And then we can even experiment further. Have somebody who does not discipline your kids reach towards your kids and see if your kids flinch from them. If your kids flinch from them, then it still can be a sign of trauma, i.e. anyone who reaches towards me, has always been in an aggressive way, so it's my defense mechanism that I've created. Or it can be, okay, this is a natural reaction, but if someone who does not physically discipline your children reaches towards your kids and they don't react to that, that means that they are afraid of your hand. So that's something that I recognized for myself, and I was like, I don't think this is natural, so I had to do something to where, I'm not, at that time, I did not stop. I still spank my kids. I don't spank them like I used to spank them in the past, I have, for the most part, I have this cloth belt just so it's the whole, how they're trained to respond to certain things. So some things are just like, okay, I've asked you over and over again, and now we have come to this. So I have this cloth belt that I spank them with, and they still cry like they're getting the whole life just ripped out of them. So anyway, that was something I observed, and we accept that as normal and commonplace. And I don't think it's normal or commonplace for your children, your children to be afraid of you. But Al Bundy, yes.
I big die every time I pick the puppy.
Okay, thank you.
Hey baby, one more time. I don't big die.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay. And so Al Bundy syndrome,
Don't
I was like,
baby, one more time.
I was like, the amount of attention you guys get simply because of your high school years. And then I look at your friend who has never moved away from Gary. And I was like, it's because he's still living in that energy of TMG. Please stop.
I think that's Gary.
You want me to say sorry?
Yeah.
Well, I apologize. I'm not sure what I apologize for, but boom, there you go.
Why do you say Gary?
And so he's still living in the energy of TMG, which was, I'm not sure when my husband graduated. He's 7 years older than me, and I graduated in 99. So whenever my husband graduated, this man, not my husband, but his friend, who still lives in Gary, is still getting his kicks in 2023 from who he was in high school. And I was like, that's something to think about. When you think about people who are stuck, and you think about people who can't move on, or you think about when you get with your friends and you guys talk about the glory years, but you really don't have anything to talk about present day. That is because y'all's bonds and y'all's best years were created in the past. How you doing, sunshine? Thank you for stopping in. Your best years, if there's any topics you want to talk about, just plug them into the chat box and we'll talk about them. I'm talking about the Al Bundy syndrome that I identified last night with Dre's friend who has not moved away from Gary. And of course he stays there because his family's there. He stays there because his wife is there and he met a girl from the hometown and all these different things. We all have these reasons why we do the things that we do, and we hold on to the past. But some of us are holding on to the past because the past is what gives us validity. You know, nothing's really going on in our life now. Nothing's really going on in our life now. It's easy for us, please stop. It's easy for us to move forward in our lives. I know, but you're making noise. How about you go outside of my door and shut my door, and you can bang the cards on the ground all you want to, but stop sitting there making noise. Yes, I understand, but every time you do it, you break my train of thought. And what I'm doing is important to me. So I understand what you're doing is important to you, so do it outside of my door. Do you understand? Go. Stand up. Caden, stand up. I know. That's fine. Leave my room, please. No. You have plenty of cards. That's sufficient. You have enough cards. Now go. Caden, do you want me to help you go? Then please leave. Go. And shut the door behind you. So, I don't have to yell at my kids anymore for them to listen to me. I just gotta start moving and they'll be like, oh, okay, Mom's serious. Like, I'm happy I don't have to yell at my kids in order for them to listen to me anymore, but like, why do I have to physically make myself larger for you to listen? And so that's the space that I'm in with, you know, this restructuring how I raise my kids and how I encourage them to listen. Because the thing that I identified within that is my children have to make choices as often as possible, as early as possible. Because life is all about choices. And if we are forcing our children into choices, then they're never building the muscle to know how to make choices. And they're also not learning how to trust themselves. If mom and dad is always telling them the right decision, they're never gaining independence and the ability to, you know, think things through and make choices for themselves. Excuse me. So I've identified, you know, I need to allow my kids to make choices for themselves and to self-correct. That is what we're dealing with Angel. Angel does not know how to self-correct. And we're looking at Angel like, damn, you're 11 years old. How come you can't self-correct? How come you can't get yourself together? Sorry. My eyelashes are pulling. You know, why can't you self-correct? And I'm thinking just through her 11 years of life. Because if we look at our kids and we look at anybody, no, I want you out. No, shut my door now. You know, if we look at our children and, you know, their inability to do something, we have to stop and think, did we teach our children how to do that? And, you know, I run into with Dre, he's like, why do I have to teach them? How do I have to teach them? Nobody taught me. And I'm like, you don't know if anybody taught you that. And it probably was taught to you, but it was taught to you at the other side of a belt. You know, I was taught discipline too, on the other side of a belt. I was taught respect too, on the other side of a belt. I was taught all the things that you see in me structurally that are like, you know, whatever, things that people value. I was taught those things on the other side of a belt. How do I teach those to my kids when there's not a belt on the other side of it? Because I don't want those things to be taught to my child connected to trauma. You know, I think about cleaning. I always talk about that. Everything in its place, everything has its place. If I live by myself, my life, my world, everything will look completely different than it looks because I live with other people. And everybody in this home cannot seem to get on the same page. So I just got on their absence of page to get on. But I look at cleaning, I was just like, I grew up with my father who was military, I grew up with my mother who was in the middle of her addiction. And so I'm extremely structured and I'm extremely all over the place. And then I grew up with a bunch of other people because I got passed around and dropped off and forgotten about and picked up 2 weeks later and all kinds of stuff like that. So I was in a lot of different environments. And a lot of those environments were cluttered. A lot of those environments were dirty. A lot of those environments were clean. A lot of those environments were all these different things. And so when I structured my independent single life, I was always, everything in its place, labels facing forward, spices in alphabetical order, stuff like that. But when I started having children, Bailey, I was still able to maintain order. That's why Bailey is the way that she is, but she learned all of that on the other side of a belt. I caused a lot of trauma to Bailey because I didn't know how to raise her, but I knew I turned out okay. And so I did my version of what my dad did to me so that I could make sure that my daughter turned out okay. And I transferred the same trauma to her that was transferred to me. And so we're working through that now. Angel, she's where everything started breaking down for me and the structure stopped breaking down. And that's why they say, the second child, the third child, and the fourth child is just a free-for-all, because you stop releasing all those controls. You stop being so much of your parents. But as you stop being so much of your parents, you don't know what to be. Because who taught us the next? Okay, I'm not going to be my parents anymore, but who am I going to be? And so that's where I am right now. And I think that's why our parents as grandparents, they no longer have the pressure of raising and rearing and transferring whatever they have into the kid. And so that's why we look at our parents and we're like, hey, why are you so nice now? Because you sure as hell wasn't nice to me. Whenever my dad tries to offer a solution and saw a lovey-dovey and roses, I'm like, who the hell are you? This is not the man that used to beat me at the drop of a dime for anything. What is this? This patience that you suddenly have for your grandchildren, this patience that you were telling me that I should have for your grandchildren when you had zero patience for me. But I think it's because, as a grandparent, I haven't been one, so I'm just theorizing, but I wonder as a grandparent, because you are no longer responsible for the outcome of this child, you can actually have compassion because the pressure of having the responsibility for outcome, you don't have time, you don't have patience, or not patience, you don't have patience, but you don't have the time to sit here and go back and forth with a 4-year-old about picking up some damn cards, banging them on the floor, and making his little noises in the background so he could be heard. Like, that irks my soul. He learned, we all learn. Yes, we do. He did. But I don't know if he learned. Did he age out? Why would he have learned? I do believe, to your point, especially if you are an active grandparent, if you are a present grandparent and you're still in the, rearing, raising, you're involved with your grandkids. Your grandkids aren't just coming over to play. You're still, providing some sort of learning environment for them as far as, learning socialization, learning respect, whatever, you don't have to teach them at the level that you had to teach them as a child. Again, I'm theorizing. But when your grandkids come over, you're still pouring into them somehow. But my dad's in Florida. My dad has seen all of my children a handful of times. So what opportunity? Maybe he learned with other grandkids and he didn't learn with mine. Like, where was the learning from? I can understand if you sit back and you reflect. So you think maybe he reflected and he was like, I could have done something better. Maybe that's it. I don't know. That's a good point. I should ask him, but he's probably not gonna have an answer. But I'm gonna ask him next time I talk to him. I'm like, why? But I think that the pressure's off. The pressure's off once you become a grandparent, and now you can just, use your logical brain. I think as parents, we don't use our logical brains. We should. I do now. I didn't before. I was very reactionary. I was saying, dude, like the other night, Angel was cleaning the kitchen, but she was cleaning the kitchen. It was like an hour after she was supposed to be done cleaning the kitchen. And I was like, Angel, why are you still cleaning the kitchen? You should have been done. Actually, her bedtime is at 10. It was 11 o'clock. She was still cleaning the kitchen, but she should have been done cleaning the kitchen by 8 p.m. That is the rule. Chores need to be done by 8 p.m. She's still cleaning the kitchen at 11. But I'm also talking to her, and she's cleaning the kitchen while I'm talking to her. And I was like, well, now you're being disrespectful because you're not stopping and you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. And she was like, long story short, she didn't say this, but what was happening between us was, look, do you want me to clean the kitchen, or do you want me to stop and listen to you talk to me? Because it doesn't make sense. It's not logic. You say I'm being disrespectful, but on the flip side, you want the kitchen clean. So which one is it? You can't have both. And to expect both is not using logical brain. So I was like, you're right. I need you to understand that what respect looks like in our society is for you to stop, look someone in their eye, and pay attention. Stop all the fidgeting, stop all those different things. That's what respect looks like. But also, I understand my expectation for you to get the kitchen clean. So I understand what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, there's a lot of growth opportunities there. Anyway, Al Bundy syndrome, really, if you are stuck in the past and every time you talk to someone, it's always a reflection of the past, and you won't move away from a certain area because you had a certain attention, a certain popularity, and you hang around the same people so you can maintain the same attention and the same popularity, and that's what feeds your value, and that's where you feel important. I believe that's a form of the Al Bundy syndrome because you have identified your best years, and it means that the years that you're living right now, you don't value. And so if you were living in the past and you're like, man, if I could just go back, that means that you are not doing what's necessary for your present to be what it needs to be. Because if you were able to have your glory years when you had your glory years, well, damn it, you can have some more years if you actually put effort into it. That's why they say people peaked in high school, or people peaked here and people peaked there. They only peaked because they stopped evolving and growing, and it was easy for them. People who peaked, it was easy for them. They were tapped into something at that time. I am tapped into my popularity. I don't know the word to say, so I'm going to say popularity because that's the only word that I have, and that's a universal word that we all understand. So I am presently tapped into my personality. Not my personality. I am tapped into my personality, but my popularity. So maybe as long as we keep, I don't know. This is just a theory. I came up with it in the bed last night, and I was like, I'm going to talk about it on my live. So it's going to be fumbled, but when I finally film a video about it, it's going to be beautiful. But, I am in my popularity now. So that means all the years behind me, they weren't my popularity. And who knows how long my popularity will last. But people who are in Al Bundy syndrome, their popularity happened sometime in the past. The space in their life where they received the most attention happened somewhere in their past. And we say the most attention because they're not receiving that same level of attention now, present day. Like the level of attention I'm getting now is the highest level of attention I've gotten my entire life. So here is where I am not peaking, but I am starting to receive what someone who is in Al Bundy syndrome received back in the day. And so they are tapped into that. So I don't know, if you're stuck in the past, there's some work to be done there. The work that needs to be done is making your present as brilliant as you feel your past was. And I'm going to leave it at that because there's something there, but you guys don't need to sit through me working through one of my theories. But it was on the top of my topic list, so we talked about it. Why do I love you guys? Black girl magic and excellence in my comment sections. Man, I love you guys. I posted a couple videos, and first of all, the way y'all ride is just awesome. Like, I love us. I love us. We have a lot of work to do as a community, as a whole. That's why I make the videos I make, and that's why people get mad at me, But that's okay. Because those of us who are willing to do the work, they don't get offended by the things that I say. They actually stop and say, you know what, I could be a better version of myself. And then they stop if they got offended, they stop getting offended. because they know I'm not out here to offend anyone. I'm out here for us all to be great. And whatever greatness is for you, that's subjective. But as long as every day that you're working to be the best version of yourself, then damn it, you're being great. And that's the opposite of the Al Bundy syndrome. Today is better than yesterday, therefore I don't have to live in yesterday. I can live in today because I'm making today great as well. Welcome to the live. And so I love you guys because when I read your comments, I posted a video where my hair was I did finger coils, and I have struggled getting second day hair my entire life. Like, I'll do my hair and then I'll go to bed, and I don't know how y'all wake up and refresh your hair. I cannot refresh my hair to save my life. And so my hair kind of was all over my head, and I was like, the look I love, because I've seen women, like one of my best friends, she just twists her hair and she just lets her hair do what it does, and I love it. But on me, I was just like, I don't know how I look. So I posted a video, and I was like, in the video, and I am on a level, I'm not self-conscious, but I am consciously aware, because self-consciousness has a negative connotation, which means there's a deficit there. There's no deficit there. But I am consciously aware of how I present in front of the camera now, because I understand that, that's a thing. Somebody's going to have a problem with my tank top. I don't really care. If I was, self-conscious, I would want to, somebody's going to say something about this, let me fix it. Somebody's probably going to say something about this, let me fix it. Self-conscious is self-doubt, self-questioning, and allowing the outside world to determine how you deal with yourself. No, but I am consciously aware that I can present better. And so, those of you who've been rocking a while, you see I don't pop on here with my hair looking any kind of way. I have popped on here looking crazy, because my whole platform is inspiration, which means if I have a message to deliver, I have to deliver the message in the time that I receive it. Otherwise, I'm going to forget it. And I become comfortable with forgetting messages. I used to record videos all the time, but what has really helped me with my video recording frequency is going live every day, because if I run my mouth for now 2 hours instead of 3, because that's cutting too much into my life. But if I run my mouth for 2 hours a day, then I kind of lose the urge to record videos, because what I might have recorded a video on, I ran my mouth about on a live, which all my lives are reposted on YouTube. Please follow Lonee Appleton Lives on YouTube. Once I have 50 followers over there, I'm going to start going live over there, because they don't like me over here on TikTok. They violate me for every little thing. And so, But anyway, I posted a video, my hair, I don't know. What's my hair doing? I am feeling self-conscious about my hair. But being consciously aware, I know there's nothing technically wrong with my hair, because I see other people's whose hair looks like mine and they look damn good. So I know that this is an insecurity within myself. So in this aspect, when it comes to my hair, I am self-conscious, because every time I try a style, it's just not cute. My hair is only cute when it's in braids, to me. My hair is only cute when it's in braids. My hair is cute when somebody else does it. My hair is cute when I got a wig on. But when I try to do my hair, and I have my license in cosmetology, yes, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I still don't know how to do hair. And so this is a spot of self-consciousness for me, my hair. But I also know it's a spot of self-consciousness, and we identify self-consciousness as you are not strong enough in yourself, and so you're seeking the approval of the outside world in order for you to have confidence. So, yes, I am self-aware in most areas of my life. I have confidence in most areas of my life. My hair is one area that I need work. And that's a very important point right there. we have areas that we need work in. We should never ever feel that we have it all together. Now, we can feel like we're doing the damn thing and we can know who the fuck we are, but there's always somewhere we can improve. I love how I speak. I love how I articulate in my orator abilities. I love it. I love how I can lace words together and flow, and how quick-witted I think, and all these different things. But I also know that I can get better. So I know where my strength is, and I sit in my strength, and I pat myself on the back in my strength, and I celebrate that. But I also know that I can get better. And that also goes with deficits, areas that I know that I can improve because I'm really lacking in that area. My hair is one of them. And so back to you guys, I post this video. I'm like, what do you guys think about my hair? And you guys just showed up for me in such a big way. And if you need a cheerleading squad, go get you some black women, because y'all gonna gas somebody up. And it didn't even feel like gas. It felt authentic. Even the people who were like, you can try something else, they were just like, I love your hair in braids. They didn't say, nah, girl, this ain't it. They were like, I love your hair in braids. Or, they were just lifting me up. And I was like, this is Black excellence. We have identified Black excellence in our community if you're getting money. We have identified Black excellence if we have the perfect veneer. The perfect veneer of what being Black and excellent looks like. And I really love us because we are none of those things. We are shattering all of those stigmas, all of those things. So many of us feel like we're not doing what we need to do. I am a fidgeter. I'm sorry. So you're going to see me scratch. You're going to see me do because I'm a fidgeter. Angel got in trouble, has always gotten in trouble because she's always doing distracting behavior. She's a fidgeter. And I'm like, stop fidgeting, but I'm a fidgeter. The only thing is my fidgeting isn't as exaggerated as hers. So we're working on, it's okay for you to have a tick. Like right now I'm rubbing my hands like this because I have to move, So when she was like, I have to move, I was like, well, now that you put it that way, I fully understand because I always have to move. I can't sit still. But the things that I'm doing aren't as distracting as the things that she's doing. Like if she was rubbing her hands together, she would be like this. And I'm just like, it doesn't take all that. Just a subtle, rub. That doesn't take away from what the person is saying and what you're saying. Stop being distracting. Anyway, so we think Black excellence, or we think, us doing our damn thing is getting money. And if the large societal view of success in the community is monetary, is the acquisition of things and traveling and doing all these glorious things, then it leaves a large portion of our population feeling like they're not a part of Black excellence. And I think that that's exclusionary. I don't think that that is what Black excellence is. I feel that my family is Black excellence. Why? Because we are doing the work to be our best versions of ourselves. We are doing the work to be the best versions of ourselves within this family, within these communities, within every aspect, within our families, as parents, as lovers, as all these things. This is Black excellence. And I love it that we can depict it looking and living like most people. I'm sitting on my bed, I'm wearing a t-shirt, a souvenir t-shirt that I got from Sedona. I got my 2-strand twist and my whatever the heck, these little, French fries. That's what my cousin calls them. He's like, hey, cousin, can you French fry me up? Will you French fry me up? I got my little French fries on the side of my head. Like, I look like most people. But in that looking like most people, my kids running around in their 2 small pajamas and mismatched pajamas and all those things that people who present to the world, and they're just like, oh my God, no, your every hair needs to be in place. Oh no, you need to wear this. Oh, you got to have on your new outfit. We can't film a video until you look like this. And we've identified that veneer as Black excellence. And then we look at ourselves and we must be thinking, I'm not Black excellence because I don't look like that. But because I'm Black excellence, I know, like, I'm excelling. The root word of excellence is excel. I am excelling, therefore I am excellent. I represent Black excellence, but in representing that, I represent you. So if I can achieve, i.e., my best self, which means I am constantly evolving and growing and working on myself, which is excellence. If I can achieve that, now you look at this Black excellence and you're like, well, damn, she looks like me. She talks like me. They act like me. Her family looks like my family. Her home looks like my home. I can achieve excellence as well. And so I love that I see that excellence in my comment section. I see the Black girl magic, us showing up for each other, you know. Historically, all those things, you know, had to do with glam and just big, showy. Hey sis, how you feeling? Are you healing up? You feel better? I saw your videos. Were you able to get yourself some pain meds? You know, I couldn't even imagine coming out of surgery and not having any pain medication. So I hope you were able to get some. And so, you know, the Black girl magic in the historically has, you know, it's just been showy. No, the magic that I see in my comments is just down to earth sisters looking out for each other. Down to earth people rooting for each other. Down to earth tapping into our community and our collectiveness and knowing that we are all interconnected. And if we lift each other, we all rise. So when I see that, I'm just like, man, I love y'all. I love every single one of you. So when I say it, I mean it, because you guys really show me why I'm proud to be Black, why I'm proud to be a Black woman. You know, society, they show us the backbiting. They show us the, I got receipts. They show us spilling the tea. They show us all those different things. And they identify, say, the housewives. The housewives represent Black excellence. But what are the housewives doing? Sure, they live in big houses. Sure, they drive beautiful cars. A lot of those people are breaking themselves to live in those houses to impress us. I don't know why. I guess because that's how their money comes, by impressing people. So people pay them attention and then they get more money. I mean, I understand why, but these people are literally living lies in order to have what has been identified present day as Black excellence. But if we look at all of the people in our society that we hold high as leaders in our community, and we actually look at them as their character. Look at their character. You know, okay, all the people, I'm gonna read your comment in a second, Cardi. All the people where we're just like couples goals. All the people where we're like, you know, man, I wish I knew their prayer. All those things. But we look at the character of the person. It's like money overshadows the character. Money overshadows the quality of human. So I'm so thankful that I've been able to develop character and I've been able to develop quality. And that's what I told Angel. I was like, Angel, I know she grew up into YouTube. No, I want you to leave my room. No, I'm not playing with you. Leave. No, you have plenty of cards. Shut my door, please. Shut my door. Thank you. I appreciate you. I know. That's fine. Thank you. You know, Angel, she's always wanted to be an influencer. Shut my door. She's always wanted to be an influencer since she was a little girl. But she's always wanted to be one of those, hi, yeah, look at me, you know, influencers, you know, those ones. And so I was like happy now that we're in this space. I've never really agreed with that because I understood. I didn't know how to combat it. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate the hearts. I didn't know how to combat it, but I knew that it was problematic. You know what I'm saying? Being superficial like that is problematic. And so I didn't want that for her, but I want her to achieve what it is that she desires. And so I love that now we're in a space that I understand that I need to develop her soul. I have to develop her knowing and her confidence within herself. And now that I can develop her soul and her confidence and knowing within herself, then now she can go out and be that influencer and be that bubbly, topical personality. She truly can, present whatever she presents to society. And if she's not who that person is that she presents to society, she's confident in who she is when she's not in front of the camera. The thing is, these people present an image in front of the camera, but they haven't done the internal work to be what that image is. So they're putting on whatever is necessary to get the attention. And then when they're done doing what's necessary to get the attention, they get home and they're broken and they're lost, because they don't know how to do the work. And so I'm not sure what that ramble was. There was a point in there, maybe, I don't know. They gave me stuff once they seen I had everything on camera. I picked, whenever I go to the doctor, they got free samples somewhere. They got something. There's a pharmacy in the hospital, I'm sure. I don't know, but I think there is. I picked up my meds the next day when the dose they gave me wore off. I have now contacted an attorney because of the audio call I just got from the hospital. I don't know how all that works, but maybe, I don't know. Good luck. I was going to say take those videos down because you may need them for court or you may need them for something, and I don't know what the legality is of showing that stuff versus, I don't know. So I just said, I don't know. But I am going to tell you what I was thinking, but I don't know. But good luck. That's where my meds was sent to the hospital pharmacy. In the pharmacy, they said, I'm going to have a meeting with the supervisor. Won't give me his name. Oh, okay. Well, good luck. Because, these hospitals be out here wilding. I remember when I had, was it Michael? Who delivered Michael? Yeah. The lady who delivered Michael, she was so abrasive. She literally felt like she was fisting me. Not like in and out, but it feels like she just reached in there and just, I felt violated. And they don't care. And she's like, oh, she pretty much just said, take it. That's pretty much what she said. Oh, stop being a baby or something like that. I was like, bitch, you just sucked your whole hand into my vagina. I'm not just going to take it. You're not my husband. You're not going to stick your hand in my vagina and I'm just going to take it. That's a bad joke. But anyway, I don't know if I've ever ran across. No, I love my OB. He's dope. I love my OB. But otherwise, I don't think I've ran across too many competent medical individuals. I.e., I just go through the motions. I've never felt that I was in the hands of somebody that cared about me. I don't know if so I will make it so only my mutual friends can see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I know what's supposed to happen is going to happen, and I hope that you get your justice. I know that's what I know. All right, holding people's past against them, TikTok growth. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I wrote I wrote something that said, I'm able to show you who I am today because you don't know who I was yesterday. Ban filming to avoid being sued for malpractice. I agree. I'm able to show you who I am today because you don't know who I was yesterday. And the reason why I wrote that was because the same stuff that I do over here on TikTok, I could post it over there on my Facebook page. And my Facebook page I've had since before Michael and Kaden and before Dre and 2010, I think, my Facebook page. I've had it for a while. And so the people who are on my page, they've seen me. They've known me. They've known Lonee in all her different stages. And a lot of those people, know Lonee, the ESL teacher, know Lonee, the author. They know Lonee, the artist. They know Lonee, all these different metamorphoses of myself. And so when I present a new metamorphosis of myself which all of those things were just me coming into this space that I'm in now. You know, I always had some sort of gimmick to get attention. And then once I got your attention, I would start spitting. I ain't barred in a while, you know. But now I know that I don't need a gimmick to get your attention. I could just spit. Thank you, Carby. And so what's wild is they really don't see me over there on Facebook. Shoot. Thank you, babe. They don't really see me over there on Facebook. And it's sad because it just made me think we don't allow people to grow because we know who they were. And that's even more dangerous inside of our relationships. That's even more dangerous with our children because we hold on to their past and we don't see their present. But because we don't see their present, we impede their future. So we have to make sure that every once in a while, we're updating our lenses. We're updating our lenses and we're seeing people for who they are, because I'm able to have the growth that I have on TikTok. And it's funny. My real friends, i.e. the people who followed me in the beginning from Facebook over to TikTok just because, hey, I have 10 followers and you have 10 followers and you're one of my 10 people, you know, and I'm going to comment on your video because, you know, I'm your friend, and you can comment on my video because I'm your friend. Those people don't comment on my videos anymore. They're gone. Because I don't know why, but it's really interesting. As I've evolved and changed, the people who attract to me and, you know, are a part of the community, active parts of the community, evolve and change. I've had people tell me, man, your content has changed, so I don't vibe with you anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. Have a nice life. Because I'm constantly evolving and changing. I'm not going to stay stuck in Groundhog's Day. I'm not going to live the same day over and over again, especially with my platform being healing. How can I keep a consistent message if my message is healing and evolution? And sometimes that message is going to go into a dark negative space because now I have tapped into some dark negative energy and I got to get this stuff up off me. So sometimes my messages will be light and bubbly, and sometimes my messages will be dark and, you know, whatever. Either way, I am healing and evolving. But it's really crazy that you over here on TikTok allow me the space to heal and evolve. And you're interested in it. On Facebook, nobody cares. Why? Because they've known me. You guys are meeting me so I can show you who I am, because you never knew who I was. So we have to pay attention to that, because we fail to allow people to evolve and change, because a part of us is we connected in this space. And that's what somebody said, because I posted a video about trauma bonding. Someone wanted to agree with something I said in the video, and she was like, I wanted to agree with you, but I realized that that's a form of trauma bonding, which made me so proud because that's something that I talk about. So they picked that up, and I was like, oh my God, you actually listened. But she's like, that's a form of trauma bonding, and I don't want to trauma bond with you. So how do I respond to that? And I was like, there's a difference between I have trauma, you have trauma, so now let's talk about our trauma and live in the energy of the trauma. And that's where our relationship is building, within the energy of the trauma. What we do over here is we identify the trauma and then we talk about the solutions, but we must understand what the trauma is so that we can solve it. So it is okay for us to acknowledge that there's trauma there and that we have trauma in common. Now, how we are not trauma bonding and we are healing together, we are healing said trauma, is because now that we've identified this trauma, let's do the work. Two completely different things. But someone commented and they were like, yeah, because I had a relationship and I realized, thank you so much for the love. You know, without you, there's no love, and I appreciate it. And those hearts and all those likes, they tell TikTok to push the content out because people like it. So I appreciate it. She was like, I identified I have a trauma bonding relationship, and she had to break that relationship off. And she said that person wasn't able to evolve with her because they kept trying to bring her back to that trauma bonding. Hey, Doc. Can I call you Doc? They kept trying to pull her back to that space. You know what I'm saying? They kept trying to pull her back to that space. And, hey, okay, real quick. Thank you, Carby. Oh, that's the one that makes noise. Yes. Okay, I am preoccupied with this and I can't even think straight. If you are on this live, can you just comment that you are on this live? Because that number in the corner says 2, but I don't know. I wonder if there's more than 2 people here, because that's just another TikTok lie that they're always telling us. TikTok will not let us be great. TikTok is one of the biggest haters, and I really hate that this is the app that took off for me. I love what TikTok has done for me. But I hate that this app that hates us is the app that it happened on. You know what I'm saying? They probably gonna block my thing because I said that. It says my lawyer would tell me if I have to private the videos. All right. This isn't the first time I've been told in this hospital I don't look like I'm in that much. Oh, they told you that. I couldn't understand the lady's accent, so I'm really bad with accents. So she told you don't look like you're in that much pain. I would have grabbed her up and showed her how much pain I was in. Man, I wish I would. You denied help at the emergency room. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy. Like, the fuck? What did you come to work for? What did you come to work for? Riddle me this, Batman. Give me some goddamn help. Shit, don't matter how much pain I'm in. Just because my pain tolerance is not what you feel is the manifest what it's supposed to look like does not mean I'm not in pain. I am aware of the money I'm spending. I appreciate the love, sis. I always say this since the meds I'm on. I'm aware just pain is numb. I try to watch as much as I can, but you do come up on my For You page. Thank you. I be on here for hours. I don't expect y'all to sit and spend hours with me. I'm on here building my brand, and I don't know what that is, but Spirit told me to show up, start recording lives, and Spirit told me I will be rewarded for my obedience. That was yesterday, because yesterday I almost didn't film my live yesterday. That's why I'm on my bed today, because I'm just like, shoot. I showed up for myself. Hold on real quick. Let me see what else. All right. Okay, so there are 2 people here. Okay. Because there's another head that's up there that's not in the comments. And so I was just curious if they're giving me false numbers up there. But yeah, I be on here because Spirit told me to show up and to go live daily. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. And I don't want to say, okay, this is going to be today's topic. Because as you can see, I don't stay on topic. And so I just want to hit live and have a conversation. Ultimately, I hope it's to where we're all talking in the comments and, you know, we're all potentially, I don't know how the panel things work. The only thing is it's just a bunch of people talking over each other. And so is it really a helpful conversation? I think there's a way to do it, but I don't know how to do it where we're all able to express our thoughts and ideas and the conversation's able to be moved forward. You know what I'm saying? Without just a bunch of people saying witty things. And yeah, but people like that, but I don't like that. And so I wouldn't want my panel to be that way. I would like a cohesive conversation, kind of like a talk show, you're talking with people and you're sharing thoughts and ideas and you're pausing and allowing somebody else to share their thoughts and ideas, and then the conversation is able to be moved forward that way. I would love to do panels that way. But yeah, I don't expect people to sit on here. I'm going to drop down to 2 hours because after I finish filming my lives, it's like, okay, now I got to get into the rest of my life and all the things that I wanted to do outside of work things, you know, and I consider the things I got to do in my life is work. So after this, I have to meditate. I have to do my altar work. I have to do my journaling. Then I have to write this story that I'm writing with Angel. And then I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do that. I have to fold this damn laundry that's supposed to be folded for 3 days. I got to do all these things, you know, and I'm up really, really early, like 5, 6, 7 in the morning. And then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up to do my lives, and then I'm on live for 3 hours. And then by the time I finish the things that I have to do, there's no time to do the things that I want to do. And it's like wash and repeat. So I'm going to only spend 2 hours on lives. And if you're here, you're here. If you're not, I understand. But the fact that you pop in and you show love is awesome. I like your vibe still. It's warming and informative. Thank you. Am I like I don't know. I'm warming, though. I like being warming. Today the girls will be cooking. I'm just supervising a little. That's awesome. Yeah, we are going to come up with a schedule. I decided next week I'll take 2 days. I'm going to make meatball subs and salad. And I'm going to make chicken pitas with all the little vegetable stuff. So yes, we are not vegan yet. I don't know if vegan meat is disgusting. So I don't know if we will ever go vegan, but we definitely eat our fruits and vegetables way more than we used to. I need to increase my water intake. They say you're supposed to drink half of your body weight, and I'm not even gonna tell you the amount of water I drink. Just know that it ain't half my body weight. I need to do better. I'm severely dehydrated. I just need an IV. Where the hell is my IV? I feel like I finally found someone as family-oriented while evolving alongside as a whole. And that is beautiful. That is the community. That is the community that I have sought my entire life as well. You guys think I talk a lot? I went decades without talking. I didn't have anyone to talk to. So I love this community. I love you guys. Like, you don't understand the level of value that you guys bring to my life. And I'm happy that I bring it back to you guys. All right, let's see. Carby, I was sent love and I just want to pass it around. I appreciate you. I have to figure out how to work this dang live thing. Yeah, private accounts can watch, but the number will go up if they click in. Okay, I know that like you have to press on it to actually go in, but you can still watch it. So there might be people out there watching who ain't clicked it. It doesn't matter. That is the space that I'm trying to get to, because I was talking to Dre last night and I was like, man, I've been stuck at 11.8 followers, 11,000, so 11.8 thousand followers forever. I was like, I can't bump up to, I just bumped up to 0.9, but I was like, I can't bump up to 0.9. I was like, 12,000, can we please get 12,000? You know, and I'm just like, man, I want 100,000. And I was like, whoa, check yourself. Because the fact that you are not sitting in the fact that you have 11,000 followers when in December you had 9. When your profile that you actively worked for at least 2 years on Instagram for your art has been stuck at 430 followers for years. For years you've had 430 followers, no matter how much effort you put into that page. But you're sitting here looking at this page who is slowly growing and evolving. And you're like, man, that's not good enough. I was like, you got to check yourself, because once you get to 100,000, you're going to be like, man, I want 1 million. We have to be able to be in appreciation of the accomplishments and the growth that we have attained. And I find that difficult, not difficult. I find it perplexing, confusing, whatever the word is. Because I want to manifest, and manifestation is focusing on the future, right? Manifestation is, you know, my life has 2 today. I'm focused on having 1,000 people in my lives, and you know, so I'm focused on the number. But being focused on the future number, you still somehow must be in gratitude and appreciation of the 2 that you have. So, yes, I am calling in 100,000 followers. I'm excited for that day, but I need to also be excited for the day that I have 11,000, because I have never achieved over 1,000. I have a 1,200 on my art page on TikTok, Lonnie Taylor Art. I have 1,200 there, and that was a fight. What I've achieved on this page is nothing I have ever achieved in my life. So why am I taking that for granted? So that was a self-check moment I had to make last night. And at the end of the day, the numbers aren't important, especially with the message that we have going on over here, or the message that I have been tasked to deliver. This isn't for everybody. So if I'm sitting here focused on the numbers, I will never understand the value that is happening within the community. I'm warming. I gotta take that. I gotta take that win. You know what I'm saying? I gotta appreciate that. And I do. No, the male surgeon said that and said he would cancel. They said, well, I'm gonna cancel your meds. He told me go get some Tylenol at the deli. I heard that part. Let me see. So, all right, doctor done came through. Hold on. At the deli. What else am I doing now? I'm gonna sit here. I appreciate you sitting here. I do need a podcast. The reason why I don't have a podcast is because I have to buy the equipment. But someone said that I could just do it through my phone. I think I'm just gonna do it through my phone. I think that I would, yeah, but it would be, this pretty much is my podcast, so I wouldn't even know. Would you listen to a rambling podcast like this? You listening to me ramble now, the only difference is there's a video behind it, but random convos are the best. Okay, boom, you just answered my question. Yes, thank you. Now go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to have the microphone and all the things. But I may start a podcast. But to do a podcast and go live every day, I would have to go live simultaneously while I am filming my podcast, which means I would need something else to do it. Because I would need to film, I would need to go live and do so that I'm doing both simultaneously. So there's a way to do it. I agree. I want a podcast, but I've always been waiting on the equipment. You got to make sure you set order and say everyone speak in the order of the boxes. Oh, we'll have to talk about that. I usually do that on game night. Do you upload your lives to YouTube? Yes, I upload my lives to Lonnie. I don't know how to type in the chat box, but I've done it once before, so I know that there's a way. Comment. All right, boom. Lonnie. Yes, I'm that old lady that speaks while she types. Lonee Appleton lives on YouTube. Yes, you could always go rewatch there. All right, here we go. As long as random combos are the best. I usually do that on game night. Do you upload? As long as you drink 64 ounces a day, you're good. Okay, I'm not. I'm going to be honest. It takes me a week to finish a gallon of water. I know. My head knows my heart is not in it, but today I'm going to commit to my 64 ounces. I actually told somebody that I'm going to start. It's just, it almost seems like I don't like having to do anything. But that's a part of not giving up on myself. Ooh, let me tell you about y'all's ain't shit ass brother, Dre. I'm going to tell you about this. I'm going to film a video, but I'm going to tell y'all since we on it. He hates to hear me talk. Let me read these comments because I want to be in the moment with you guys. All right. Try IV packets for the water. IV packets. Let me write that down. IV packets. So I'm going to tell y'all about this right here. He get on my nerves. I love chatting with, I love chatting with you, Carby. Sheesh, I just got to 7K, and I got so excited. And I get excited too. When it finally clicked to 11.9, I got excited. I get excited too. But I get trapped into something else. So there's some work that I need to do, because I need to appreciate the journey. So there's somebody who, I don't know who it was. I like to cite my sources. That's why people consider it name dropping. No, I'm just citing my source. Now, there's a difference between, I was kicking it with Steve Jobs and blah, blah, blah. It's the energy. Because I can definitely see myself as I continue to gravitate or whatever the word is, evolve, and my status changes, and maybe my friendship circles, not my associations, because I don't think I'm ever going to be a friend with anybody besides, the real people. But, my association, I don't care. Jill Scott's been my best friend in my head for decades. So I think Jill Scott will, if ever possible, would be a good friend of mine. But otherwise, I'd fuck with Erica Cubadoo too. So, those will be my friends. Anyway, that's if they are who they present to be. Who knows who these people really are? Anyway, I can see myself be like, yeah, I was kicking it with Erica and da-da-da-da-da-da. I can see that because I cite my sources today. I was talking to Carby, I was talking to Coco, I was talking to Doc, I cite my sources now. So I can see that being received as name dropping or jockeying people or stuff like that. But no, I'm just giving flowers, and I don't ever want to portray an idea as an original idea when it wasn't. Especially when Carby says something that makes me think, and I'm out here talking about what Carby said, and Carby sitting there like, bitch, I said that, and that's exactly what y'all's friend did. I'm about to fight y'all's friend. Hold on. You're preaching, sis. Thank you. Excuse me?
My other dog is. Let me tell you.
Okay. Your shirt is tucked into your underwear. Why don't you pull your shirt out of your underwear, sir? Pull your shirt up. Yep, good job. And pull your pants up. You ain't got to show your little underwear. Pull your pants up over your underwear. Yep, good job. I know you were unaware that your underwear was showing, but I got you. Man, I looked at Caden yesterday. This little boy. Come here, Caden. Come let the people see you. Come look at this little boy. Come here. You can get on camera. I'm giving you permission. You done turned off my light. Oh, the people gonna see me without the light. Get up here so the people can see you. Y'all, look at this little boy. That is a gorgeous human. I was looking at him yesterday. All right, you can go. I was looking at him. Who's here? Bailey?
Yeah.
I was looking at him because... And shut my door, please.
Oh my God.
I recognized...
Oh my God.
Okay, please go. I recognized that his baby face, it's still a baby face, but, you know when you look at your own kids, y'all understand what I'm saying. I don't have to explain it. I was looking at him because his baby face is gone. He went through an evolution in his physical appearance. And I was looking at him yesterday. I was like, that's a little boy. That ain't a baby no more. That's a little boy. I was like, I think he is now in his little boy face. Like Michael went through it too, or his face has changed too. But I recognized Caden yesterday. I was like, that mother is fine. So is Michael. Michael is beautiful. Those two boys. Something about Dre. And I'm not saying nothing about any of the other kids. But Dre has beautiful children. No, just because I put you in front of the camera does not mean that you are now invited into the conversation. Please leave. Nope. You can talk to me. I'm going to be done in 40 minutes. You can go. Dre got some beautiful kids. Yes, I've heard you can do it through your phone. I'm gonna look into the podcast thing. I would listen. I know you would, friend. IV packs help with dehydration. I'm about to get me some of those because Dre was like, you pinch your thing like this, and if it takes a long time for it to bounce back, see, my shit is still stuck. It's still stuck. I think it should have bounced back by now, but it's still stuck. I don't think it's supposed to take that long to so yeah, I'm dehydrated. So my oldest bailed on us for the game. My youngest picked dinner. Oh, so you were cooperative over there. I love it. I I love, like, we're moving in a space where we are all just working collectively, cohesively, and supporting each other. And, you know, because I recorded a video a while back. I'm going to tell y'all about y'all's brother real quick after. I recorded a video a while back that I identified a space of contention between siblings is because we put our children in a position to have to be surrogate mothers and fathers because we need help. But the reason why it's a space of contention, or, you know, our siblings have a problem with each other. The older sibling doesn't like the younger sibling because the younger sibling doesn't listen. Well, they don't listen because you're acting like mom, and you guys are actually siblings, you know. And so all of that dynamic and all of that, you know, strife between them, I do believe your first village is your family. And in that village, we all are looking out for each other. We're all working together. Sometimes somebody cooks, somebody cleans, somebody, you know, we're all looking out for each other. That is the exact, hey, shut my door. That is the exact same thing. That's the exact same thing that's happening when, you know, hey, we're putting our children in a position to be us because we have to work, we have to do these things, so we need to multiply ourselves. But it's done in a resentful way. It's, I have to do these things. I can't have my childhood because I have to do these things. But the energy has shifted in our house where, you know, Bailey understands that she, in order to practice being a mom, in order to practice having compassion, practice having understanding, practice cooking, all these different things, you know, she has now not become an extension of me, but has just added these things to her plate, if that makes sense. So the energy is different. You know, it's not her fussing at her brothers, it's looking out for her brothers. It's not her fussing at her sisters, looking out for her sister. Bailey went without prompting and bought her sister shoes for school, bought her a backpack, and she had some some supplies she bought because she wanted to start scrapbooking or journaling or something. So she bought all these different supplies, but she never used them. Bailey got her little sister ready for 6th grade. This is the little girl. She's a little girl to me, even though she's 18. This is the little girl that was like, I can't stand her. I don't like her. Stop making me. Okay, but you just got her ready for school without any prompting. So this is the village. So I really love that you have a village and a collective going on in your family where, you know, one person is doing this, one person is doing that, and, you know, you guys are all working together. That's what we're working for over here. Everybody just looking out for each other. It's not I have to be mom because mom's not here. It's we're looking out for each other. And this is our first village. And if we could learn how to just simply look out for each other without having any other reason to look out for each other than the fact that we're looking out for each other. Now we can leave our home and we can go out into the world and we can look out for each other simply for the fact that we can look out for each other. That's exactly what happened on that pier in Montgomery. That's exactly what happened. All those people saw the hat of distress. They saw the distress signal go up. It was like a flare. That hat went up. And the folks came a-running. And they looked out for that man. There are the people who stood around and recorded. And I'm thankful for them standing around and recording it because it was the most beautiful fight scene I have seen in my life. It was glorious. But people showed up for my mans. And we looked out for each other for the simple fact that we need to look out for each other. And the next step of that looking out for each other is lawyers should have already been on standby. Bail money should have been already collected through GoFundMes or whatever. You know, their legal fees should already be stocked, locked, and loaded. That's how we continue to look out for each other. People who stand up for our community, if they suffer repercussions for standing up for our community or for standing up for each other, then we are there to help them get through it. You know? I don't think anybody there was thinking about the legal repercussions of their actions that day. All they were thinking about is, oh, what you're not going to do, what I'm not going to stand by and allow happen. And so those of us who weren't there but are in a position to now offer further help, now I'm helping with medical bills. Now I'm helping with, and this is $5 a person or whatever, we raising money to help each other. If we collectively came together to help each other more often, a lot less of us would struggle, because the amount of wealth within our community, if we continue, this is keeping the dollar black. If we continue to support each other, our community could rise. But they somehow have put such a distaste in our mouth about supporting each other. We'll sooner go buy from Amazon than LoneeTaylorArt.com because we trust Amazon. Available on Amazon. Lonee Taylor is a seller. We trust Amazon. We'll sooner go to a Target than another small business to get the exact same shirt because of shipping. Even though we'll spend the cost of the shipping on a drink at Starbucks, but we won't spend it on shipping, therefore we can't support. But that same person will sit and not glamorize, but romanticize, that's the word, will sit and romanticize Black Wall Street. Will sit and romanticize all those successful Black collectives that we had in the past, but overlook the fact that the reason why those communities were successful is because they circulated the dollar. They supported each other. Now, what does circulation and support look like in 2023? Well, we are building a community here. As soon as I find out one of you guys have a business or you have something, I'm supporting you. I'm looking out for you. Why? Because I am supporting the community. Or if I financially can't look out for you or support you, I record a video that says, hey, go pay attention to this. Those of you who sit on my lives, I'm holding up everybody's books. I'm holding up everybody's stuff. I'm letting y'all know about everybody. Why? Because I may not be able to support, or I may not be able to, my little $12 ain't nothing. But guess what? I'm tapped into other people who their little $12 and their little $12 and their little $12. You know what I'm saying? So we have to reform and understand that our Black Wall Street is this internet. Our community is this internet. This is our collective. I am connected. Carby is over there in New York and I'm in Arizona. I'll meet you one day, because that's how this thing is going to move. We are going to move into a space. As soon as I get my money right, I am putting together, what do you call those things? I need investors, but I don't even know how to do that. But I want to put together what's his face? What do you call them things? What do you call those things? A retreat. Thank you, dear. Well, not just, women's, couples, family, all of it, because that's what our content is. You know what I'm saying? We can have a family retreat. We can have a family retreat, but in that family retreat, boom, mom's going to go handle her business. Dad, you're in charge of the kids. And for the dads, that's a growth opportunity right there. For dads, don't feel like they don't need to take care of the kids. Oh, yes, you do. Because mom's going to go get her healing. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the kids, where the kids are, ooh, that's going to be something powerful when we do it at the family level. The kids are getting the healing, the husbands are getting, or the dads are getting the healing, the moms are getting the healing, and however your family identifies, I'm not excluding or anybody, but everybody's getting the healing they need, and they learn how to work collectively and cohesively. I am also going to have fun workshops, because when I went out there to Jamaica and I got on that bus, and me and Dre turned that bus into a party bus by the end of the night. And I'm not going to say it was just me and Dre, of course, because if you look at the video, me and Dre were sitting in the middle of the bus. And the people who were in the back of the bus were turned the fuck up. And the people who were sitting in the front of the bus were just sitting facing forward and, enjoying their ride however they chose to enjoy their ride. They were probably sick of our asses in the back. But what I'm saying is, I was like, we need to hold fun workshops, because too many hours were spent on this 12-hour day that we spent together, not communicating with each other. We don't need to get to know each other. I hate networking events. So what do you do? What's your in there? I don't care about all that superficial shit. I understand the importance of networking. That's why my ass is sitting on this live. This is networking for me. I'm trying to help you get to know me. And hopefully in getting to know me, you want to hang out with me, i.e. join the community, watch the videos, have comments, make some friends in the community, support. So I understand the value of networking, but I've never liked that superficial, let me impress you with my resume networking. And so I've never been successful with it. But yeah, I'm really excited about the possibilities. I'm really excited about where this is headed, because we are going to make a global impact. We are. See, that's me not appreciating. We are making a global impact. Trinity is somewhere over the pond. I don't know where she is, but our reach already, and I say our because we are making this happen. Our reach is global already. And if we understood what we were doing, and that's why I talk about it all the time, if we understood what we were doing, we could multiply this thing and grow it and impact at a higher level. And yeah, once the money's available, we are definitely doing retreats, and we are definitely, branding out, and we're going to do some big things. We're going to heal some people, really heal some people. Not that topical shit. We about to do some real life evolving stuff. We're already doing it. But the way that we're doing it now is everybody is independently guided. And, I want people to be able to talk to me and talk to each other. And I want, Carby, as you evolve, now you talk to your network. As other people evolve, they start talking to their network, and you develop your own message. And as you develop, like you were literally posting your videos to advocate for people who are going through medical things. Advocate for yourself. Carby is literally, fighting with her doctors and all these people just to get fair and right treatment. So you are using your voice. And that's what we all need to do. We have to tap into whatever we have and bloom that shit out and help each other. Because people can watch your videos and then feel empowered. I watched your video and I was like, yeah, I need to start speaking up for myself too. I need to stop I saw somebody, I think the video that you tagged in, they were just saying, that's why I just ignore stuff and I don't even go to the doctor. I was like, yeah, I need to stop ignoring stuff. I had like 3 or 4 specialist referrals that I'm supposed to. My doctor gave me a year. She was like, within the year, just go to these specialists and see what's going on. But I haven't. I do take my health seriously, but I don't think the answers to what is going on with me is in a prescription. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to ever depend on a prescription when I could have just changed my diet, when I could have just drank more water, when I could have took care of myself emotionally and spiritually. And those of you who are out there trying to lose weight, something that I identified was our body is holding on to our trauma. And so if you are struggling losing weight and you're doing the working out and you're changing your eating habits and you're doing all of the things, check your mental space, check your spiritual space, check your emotional space. Because as you evolve those things, your body will physically evolve with it. And we have to help those evolutions along by doing the work. And I only say that because I physically look different. As I've been doing this work, now can we say that this work has aligned with my evolution? Who knows? But I do think a byproduct of this work has caused me to make changes within my life that I've done in the past, but I didn't have no physical evolution. I have never been able to lose weight in the past. I did a 10-day water fast where I only took in water in 2019. I only took in water for 10 days. I did suck the juice out of a piece of meat. I was struggling. But otherwise, I didn't eat anything for 10 days, and I lost however much however much weight that I lost. But soon as I started eating again, I put it all back on. The weight that I'm at now, and I don't have the book right here, I'll go grab it because I need to close my door anyway. The weight that I am right now, I got it from doing it was a 28-day fast. 15 days, nothing but water and herbal tea, and the rest of the days smoothies. I survived 13 days, and I was like, fuck it. I gotta eat, I can't. I was chewing food. I was developing an eating disorder. I was afraid. I was like, I think I'm developing an eating disorder, and I need to stop this. Because I was chewing up food, sucking the flavor out, and then spitting the food away. Therefore, I could say I didn't have any food in my stomach. I was in trouble. And so, but I recognized it. Isn't that the key? When we see ourselves headed down a path, we don't just continue down the path. We recognize it and we get in front of it. And so I recognized it and I got in front of it. And so, but I was scared. That I was like, man, I could maintain this weight if I just eat like this. And I was like, this is disgusting. You're disgusting yourself. But we do things that disgust ourselves, but we still do it because the results or the satisfaction or the whatever, I guess holds a higher weight or value than whatever we're doing to disgust ourselves. When I started to puke to stay thin, it's good that we recognize it and we get in front of it because we know this long term is going to hurt us. And I would rather do something that's going to help us. Look, I had no idea that my cousin had a eating disorder in high school. That's how she maintained her weight. And when she stopped, I believe she was bulimic. When she stopped doing those things, she blew up, and she ain't been able to lose the weight ever since. And she's had all kinds of medical issues ever since. So we do these things for temporary gratification, satisfaction, whatever. And then when we stop doing them, they leave us worse off than when we started. So we should know better. But anyway, I did the 13-day fast, and I dropped down to my current weight. And now, somewhere I developed a discipline that I don't overeat anymore. I don't sit up and snack. When I'm high, it gets serious. But I'm snacking on fruit. I'm snacking on, healthy things. I'm not snacking on chips. Though Dre went grocery shopping and they bought all these chips and, delicious snacks. And I was like, why did you bring that shit into this house? It's for the kids. They shouldn't be eating it either. And I ate it. I ate all of it. And now my hands hurt. So I was just like, now I'm weaning myself. I think I'm 2 days off the sugar, 2 days sugar free. Yes, I look at sugar as an addiction because that's what it is. And so I'm 2 days clean from the sugar. Bailey brought home these cinnamon and sugar things that they fry up in the deli, and they taste like churros. If you're familiar with churros, they're delicious. I was sitting at the computer eating those, and literally the cinnamon and sugar off the bottom of the container. I was like, bitch, you got to get off this sugar. You got to cut this out. It's killing you. And so I reset, and I didn't quit on myself, and I got off. I'm back off the sugar. I'm back focused. But anyway, I did the 13-day fast where I only took in tea and water. And then what was different this time was I did spiritual evolution. I did mental. I did emotional. I'm doing all these other things where I'm also evolving myself and I'm changing. So when I came off of that fast, even though I eat whatever the hell I want to, I don't eat like I did before. And my body is not holding that insulation, because your body holds insulation. There's a medical, and your body holds on weight because you're starving it and doesn't know what it's going to eat anymore, and scientific science stuff. But on the other side, on the trauma side, your body is holding on to insulation because it's insulating itself, protecting itself. And so if you're struggling losing weight, potentially there's some more work to be done, internal work to be done to help the external. Yeah, that made sense to me. No, I expected them to treat me a certain way, but I will demand that it should be a requirement. Trust is earned even in the medical field. Yeah, it is. I used to just trust anybody. I used to trust police because they had on uniforms. I used to trust doctors because they had on uniforms. I used to trust teachers because they were teachers. Now I understand they're humans who put on a uniform and they're still flawed. Trust nobody, especially when it comes to you. You know, trust is earned. I agree. Yeah, that's how it starts. I recognize when I started to puke to stay thin. Yep. And I'm happy that you're willing to talk about that. I'm happy that you're willing. I know that that's something that you have talked about on your platform. So, you know, you're helping, you're growing through your transparency, and you're going to help somebody else recognize something and get in control of themselves. So I love it. I know now what I did wrong, and getting back down and maintaining that correctly will be a game changer. Girl, once you figure it out, and all I can say is, I'm going to go grab the book really quick. All I can say is, once you figure it out, you're going to be so damn powerful. Y'all want to know what's so funny about me? For a person who doesn't read, I sure do be recommended a lot of books. Because I feel reading, if you read to regurgitate, I don't see the value in that. But if you're reading to take in information, make that information yours, internalize it, and now be able to apply it, there's value there, because knowledge is everywhere. You know, I can learn from anything. Everything is a knowledge source, you know, but if you're reading just so you can repeat what you read, then that's just you're repeating somebody else's information. You need to apply that information and make it yours, and now you got a story to tell. Here's the book. Dr. Sebi, Alkaline, and I can't read that. But anyway, there's the book. Now, this cover I have not been able to find since I bought this. There's a different cover out there. The new cover just says 28-day, it's a meal plan. I don't know what it is, but it's not this. 28-day detox plan. I don't know what the new cover says, but it doesn't say this. But the only thing that's missing, potentially, because the detox part is not on the new books. So I always feel like Spirit dropped this book in my lap because I can't find this book anywhere else. Not like I looked on Amazon, but I can't find this cover anywhere else. They've changed what it says right there. But all this thing is 15 days of only water. And I don't really understand this book, to be honest. So I just did my bootleg version. But there's the meal plan, or that's the detox. And it's water and herbal tea until day 14. I made it to day 13. Y'all see my little markers? I made it to day 13. I was counting down them goddamn days. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, another day. Some of them were easy, some of them weren't. But day 13 is when I quit. It's 14 days of only herbal tea and water, and then you go into smoothies, mango smoothies, apple pie smoothies, anti-bloat smoothies. So there's these different smoothies in here that you could probably just Google how to make them. Half of the smoothies that are on this list aren't in the recipes. Like, this is a really, because I know that my books aren't like something you got from a major publishing company, you know, I don't want to pick on people's books. But half of the smoothies that they tell us to make to maintain and to complete the diet aren't here. They're not in the recipes. So how the hell am I going to make this berry smoothie? Who wrote this? Albaluzmorazin. How am I going to make the smoothies when you did not include it in the book? So that is a failure of the book. But at the end of the day, I just started making smoothies, and I just started making the smoothies that I wanted to make, you know, and then eventually I just started eating again. But I've been maintaining this weight. Gosh, I don't even remember when I did that detox, but I oscillate between 159 and 163, 164. I can't go back up to the 70s because then I start developing columns in my neck, and I don't like having a fat neck. I like having a one column neck. I like that. Let me see. I'm going to tell you about y'all's friend. I see my belly changing with this surgery since the hernia because my belly, it was inflamed. Yeah. I had a hernia. All my kids had hernias. Bailey had surgery. Michael had surgery because one of his testicles didn't drop. So he had to have surgery to bring his testicle down. And while they were bringing his testicle down, they did his hernia surgery. So my two oldest, I grouped my kids into two sections because their ages are so far apart. So my two girls and my two boys. So my two oldest have had hernia surgery and my two youngest have not. My sister had hernia surgery. I did not. I remember when my belly button went in. It was a painful day. Especially when I work out or ate meat, I'm listening, watching these dog bowls. Oh, you have pets? I didn't know that. That's cool. All right, let me tell you about your little raggedy friend. I was talking to him last night. Look, I'm long-winded. Yes, I am long-winded. I own my shit. You know, but I'm so passionate about the stuff that I'm saying, and I was just like, I be feeding people's spirit. I'm just like, nigga, how can you get sick of me feeding and loving on you? But he gets sick of it. And so I'm talking to him, and I can't even remember what I'm talking about, but I pay attention to his body language. And, you know, he was trying to have time. Oh, 3 dogs. Yes. Bailey asked for a chihuahua, and she said she was walking down the street and she saw a chihuahua, and she was like, damn, if I wasn't going to work, I would have took it home. I was like, yeah. Universe was like, you're seeing a chihuahua, but this ain't your chihuahua. But yeah, Bailey wants a pet. She wants that companionship. I have a friend who has pets, and she lives by herself, and she has helped me appreciation the value of pets. You know, they're like the crazy cat lady. No, if somebody, like, they're companions, they're friends. You look after them like they're family members, and they are. Like, as I've grown spiritually, I used to walk by trees and pull the leaves off just because, I don't know, I just do it. You know, I'll just walk by and just pull a piece off. It's stupid, but I did it. You know, but now I know that the trees are living and they have feelings and to value and to love them. So I don't do that anymore. And I don't look at animal friends as just animal friends. Like, they have souls, they have spirits, they have connectivities. And, you know, oh, you do have a chihuahua named Bella. My daughter wants a chihuahua now. It was a cat and now it's a chihuahua. I've never liked little dogs, but I think I could do them now. Anyway, so we're laying here. I'm watching Dre's body language and listening for when he's done listening to me. And so he does something and I'm like, oh, you know, you're done listening to me. He's like, yeah, you're always talking. I was like, I know I'm always talking. Oh, I forgot to shut the door when I walked over there. I was like, yeah, I am. I'm always talking. I was like, oh, but I saw your video earlier. I really liked your video where you said you're done quitting on yourself. And then I stopped and I was like, I told you yesterday I was done quitting on myself. I was like, did you say that because you heard me say it? He was like, no. I was like, you straight bit what I said, rebranded it as your own, and then sold it as your own idea. And then when I'm asking you, yo, did you say that you're done quitting on yourself because I said that yesterday? You gonna tell me no? I was like, nigga, you just stole my whole style. And it don't matter that you stole my style. Because again, if you hear something, you internalize it and you repeat it, cite your fucking source. You know, this nigga gonna tell me he didn't get that from me. You got it from me because I literally told you with these kids, I have to stop while they're cleaning. Yeah, stole it. Because with these boys, it's like, in order to get them, and I'm so proud of Caden, his room has been cleaned for 2 days now. And it's been clean because he's hanging out in the living room now But I go and I make sure that he's keeping the living room clean, and I cycle through and check on him and make sure, I don't just let him do whatever the hell he wants to, because like I said, my parenting style before was, as long as I make a safe, controlled environment, y'all could just run around and be free. But I know in order for my kids to learn how to self-correct and how to self-guide and to recognize things and to take care of their spaces, I have to teach them. And so I have to go and check in and make sure, okay, correct all of those things, okay. So anyway, I was sitting in here and I was like, I went and I started helping Caden clean his room, i.e., okay, pick up all these dishes, put them in. They're not supposed to have this stuff in their room, but, I got to teach them. Hey, pick up all these dishes and put them in the kitchen and let me know when you're done. And then I go off and go do something else. And then when he's done, he'll tell me. Then I go check. And I'm like, okay, pick up the trash. And I'll go, So, but in the past, I would like clean your room. And then I go off and do something. And then hours later, the room's still not clean. I told you to clean your room. And I go off and do something else. And the room's not clean. 2 days later, room's still not clean. Because I'm not there. And I was like, okay, the answer has to be me sitting in this room while they clean. I don't want to sit in this damn room while they clean. And so I was like, okay, but how about I pop in, give them a task, allow them to have the self-guidedness to complete it on their own, come in and check on them, redirect them, leave, allow them to have the self-guidance to do it on their own, tell them some things and make them feel like they're doing something, like, ooh, you did such a great job. Like, I gassed the fuck up out of my kids. I'm like, Caden always come, do I look good, Mom? Oh, yeah, you look good. And he be looking crazy as hell, but I'm going to let him know he looks good, I'm not lying to him. I'm feeding his spirit. If he feels good, damn it, you look good. Like when Michael got on this video and his hair was all over his head because I needed to redo his twist. But, my hands ain't shit, so, I be putting off hand activities as long as possible. But he was like, I like my hair. He was like, can I film a video? I was like, no, your hair is a mess. He was like, I like my hair. I was like, well, shit, if you like it, I love it. Here's your video. And I let him film his video. Why? Because he was confident in what he looked like. Who am I to tell him to not have confidence in what you look like? Now I'm teaching my son to doubt his appearance just because he doesn't look polished a certain way. And I'm not going to do that to my kids. I'm not going to set up any type of environment which will create insecurity within my children. I'm not going to knowingly set up an environment, but in that, allowing my children to feel secure in their natural selves, also being able to have them take pride in themselves. So that's why earlier when I was saying, I'm consciously aware, I'm not self-conscious. I'm not self-conscious, meaning what you guys think about me makes me alter who and what I am. I am consciously aware of how I present. So as that conscious awareness evolves, my presentation will evolve, because I have now evolved to a space where this is how I want to present to the world. This is how I want to present to the world, so, but I'm not ever going to put into my kids where they're questioning, oh, I have to look this way. I have to do these things. I have to have all these boxes checked before I can be happy. No, be happy in your skin, baby. Whatever makes you happy, that's what's happy. But there's also needs to be some fucking order there. And that's what I'm working on now. So anyway, I figured out how to get them to clean up. And it's not that I have to sit on them, which is a form of punishment, to have to go and sit in their room and go and sit and go and sit and go and sit and just, now do this, now do this, now do this. No, give them a directive, trust them to do it, come back and check, give them their next directive, trust them to do it, and then eventually you can just say, go clean your room, and they know. Now we've built the muscle. So that's what we're doing. We're building the muscle. I tell that story to say, I was talking to Dre that morning. Like, this nigga didn't even waste no time in stealing me. Like, he stole my style. Like, this nigga went to work and posted his little raggedy ass video and was like, I'm done quitting on myself. Anyway, so I'm sitting over here and I'm like, I went in there twice to redirect Caden, and I was sitting here and I was like, I'm just gonna, chair in style. He ain't shit. He act like I'm the problem in this relationship. He's the problem. Anyway, you make me laugh, Carby. Anyway, so I'm sitting here and I was like, And I almost stopped going in there. I almost stopped going and checking on Caden because I was just like, whatever, I got stuff to do. But I was like, that's me quitting on myself. That's me quitting on my kid, because what I'm doing is trying to teach him how to clean his room, but also to see things through to the end. What else am I teaching him? I'm teaching him to care about his environment. I'm teaching him personal responsibility. I'm teaching him how to, all these different things I'm teaching. We think we're just teaching one thing, but if we actually start thinking about what these moments are experiencing, what these moments could potentially, all the different things that we could possibly be learning. And that's how we rapidly, evolve, because we're not just seeing what's literally in our face. I'm teaching my kid how to clean their room. No, I'm teaching my child how to be responsible. I'm teaching my child to care about themselves and their environment. I'm teaching my child all these different things. So now I'm not just taking him cleaning his room for granted. I'm teaching him life skills. I'm teaching him how to be a better human overall. So now this is very important. Why would I quit on him when I know I'm teaching him how to be a better version of himself? And in teaching him to be a better version of himself, I am gaining my independence from him. I was independent of him because I just let him do whatever the hell he wanted to. And then I would come yell at him for doing whatever the hell he wanted to, even though who the hell is guiding him? You made this safe space for him, but you need to do some more to help grow him up. Now I am gaining my independence. So I think there's a difference. Thank you. I think there's a difference between being independent of your children, i.e. you just let your children run around and do whatever they want to do, and self-develop. Now, self-developing is different than self-correcting, because self-developing is they're out there developing themselves. And my children, Angel, Michael, and Caden, have all self-developed, which means I just made sure they had a safe playpen to play in, and y'all just figure this shit out. And of course, I'm doing, like I said, you see my kids, you see that I have poured into them, and they're beautiful humans, but they have some work to do in the form of respect. They have some work to do in the form of. I have to grow them up. So now I have to teach them how to be self-guided and self-correcting and correct themselves and see that, oh, I dropped that, let me go back and pick it up. And ultimately, they get to the point where they don't drop stuff at all. So that's where we're working. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Trinity. So that's where we're working to be, where the kids can correct themselves. Anyway. I'm sitting here and I told Dre I almost stopped going in there because that's my normal routine. I'll just say, okay, I'm going to do this new thing, and then I do it like once or twice and I quit. I was like, but I'm done quitting on myself. And then this nigga went to work and he posted a video where he's done quitting on himself. Yeah, that's y'all's friend. All right, last 2 minutes. Let's talk about fans versus friends. Fans versus friends. Bailey was telling me a story about this little girl. Oh, it's the kids. Bailey was telling me this story about this little girl who she met in school. The little girl is still in school. And Bailey's graduated now. And so their connectivity is social media. And they're not really friends. They're just in each other's orbits, right? You swipe up. I don't know how Snapchat works, but, you swipe up on stories and stuff or whatever. And so, hold on. There's some commotion going on. Like, they just live in drama. It's so weird. This whole thing with Angel, when I finally break Angel, that's going to be a cause for celebration, because she is stubborn as fuck. And she's like so committed to being this character that she has identified now. But when I finally break her, I remember a couple lives back I announced it took 5 months and all my family's on board with evolutionary and change. Yay, we've arrived. Nope. It took me 5 months to break Dre. Now I gotta break Angel. And then I gotta break Michael. And then I gotta break Caden. Bailey was the easiest to get to understanding what evolution is and that we don't have to remain the same and we can be new people. Bailey was the easiest because Bailey was the one that kept coming to me and saying, Mom, we need to do something different. We need to do different. So we can build. So break. There's a form of, and I know this is slave master language, but think about a wild horse. Before you can build the horse into whatever it is you're trying to build the horse to, you have to break them. So you have to break them from their wild tendencies. And I'm talking about a horse, not a human. You have to break this wild horse so that they release, whatever it is. So then now you can restructure it the way that you want it. So my children are wild. You hear them. You have heard them in the background of my videos. And you have also, if you pay attention, you also have heard the sound or the noise in the background of my videos slowly go down because I'm working on them. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know how to work on them. Hey, hi, mama. Oh, I thought that was my kid. I was like, how the hell did she get home and automatically hop on my live? She ain't supposed to be on my lives. And so, oh, hey, I love it. Anyway, Trinity, where are you located? I talked about you earlier and how we have a global community, but I didn't know where you were. I know you keep telling me, but I'm gonna forget. Well, I'm not gonna forget anymore because I just said that I'm not forgetting anymore. Is it London? England, UK, England. Oh, hey, mama. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, so when I say break, I'm not break their spirit. Break their resistance. Hey, Bubba, how are you?
Good.
How was school?
Kind of bad, but good.
Kind of bad, but good, huh?
Yeah, at the same time, but when I was walking home, I was almost home, and I needed to go pee, and I rushed at the end of the sidewalk.
Shut my door. You rushed to the end of the sidewalk. Did you make it home? You don't look wet, so it doesn't look like you peed on yourself. And I told you last year you need to pee before you leave the school, right? You need to pee before you leave school so that you don't have to, rush to get home. Make sure you pee before you leave school, okay?
I needed to rush because...
See, that's the breaking. I'm literally redirecting him and saying, hey, babe, make sure you pee before you go to school. But he's like, no, I need to rush. No, you don't. You need to listen. So that's the breaking. Yes, I'm talking about you.
So, how did they think when I need to go to the bathroom? So, can I take a shower when it's nighttime?
You can take your shower now. You can take your shower later. But if you take your shower now, you're not going to go outside and play. So if you want to go outside and play, take your shower later.
Don't take a shower now.
I wouldn't take... Did you pee on yourself?
Huh?
Did you pee on yourself?
No.
Then you could take your shower tonight when the sun goes down. Okay?
Okay.
Just change your school clothes. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Always wash your hands when you come in the house.
I need to go be in my bathroom, so I wash my hands.
I understand. Good job.
Let's really wash my hands.
Good job. I appreciate that. If I don't wash my hands quick enough after... All right. Go about your business. You can shut my door.
I want to change.
Okay, but shut my door, please. Make sure you put your clothes in the dirty clothes and don't just leave them in the closet, please.
Okay.
And did you take your... Never mind. That's literal laundry that I can take care of after. Anyway, yeah, so when I say break, my kids are very strong-willed and they believe that their thoughts and ideas supersede the information that I'm giving them. And so your underwear are in this basket right here.
Thank you.
But why are you changing your underwear? You don't change your underwear until you take a shower.
I'm not changing my underwear.
Oh, you were just letting me know you need underwear.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So letting them know, I understand you have your own thoughts and ideas, and that's the problem. That's not the problem, but that's the thing I'm running. Yeah. Right there. There's underwear in your hand. You don't see your Cookie Monster underwear? Oh, you can use those too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you're not changing your underwear now, are you? You don't put clean underwear on a dirty body. You don't put clean underwear on a dirty body. All right, sorry. Kids are home from school, got a mother. It's Wednesday, they get out early. Anyway, yeah, Angel is strong-willed and she's so attached. Michael, please just change your clothes and let me work, please. She's so attached to this troubled preteen identity. Troubled preteen identity. She wants to have this attitude. When you talk to her, she acts like you're wasting her time. You know, all these different things. And I'm like, yeah, it's not going to serve you. So maybe there is a better word to use besides break. I agree. But I have to break through. You know, I have to get into her to where she understands that my voice needs to be louder than her own until she can learn how to think for herself. And I think that's a good, especially if you're a parent, look, if I'm still causing trauma, then yeah, then that's problematic. But now that we're in a healing space, but she's still caught in a cycle, in order for me to break her from that cycle, my voice is like this right now. And I have to continue trying to figure out a way that I could break through her to her. And now my voice becomes like this in her head. Bailey doesn't move without hearing my voice in her head. What would my mom say? What would my mom do? And because my voice is so loud in her head, she has her own thoughts of what she would say and what she would do. But she's also comparing that to what I would say and what I would do, because she has received me as a space of knowledge and a space of wisdom. What would my mom do in this situation? I know what I would do. What would my mom do? And so that's what I need to do with Angel. And I had to break through. I'll put the through on the end. I had to break through the Bailey with her energy shut down and her attitudes that she would throw around. You know, I had to break through to her. So I'm working to break through to Angel. And then I will break through to Michael. And you see, I told him something. And he was like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And I'm just like, okay. Next time. And we'll try it again. And we'll try it again. But I'm focused on Angel. And I was focused on Dre. And I was focused on Bailey. And I'm always focused on myself. But I can have a conversation with Michael. I can have a conversation with, thank you for all the love, guys. I can have a conversation with Bailey. I can have a conversation. I was doing a live, you know, because at night I'll just pop in on my live and I'll start recording and you'll see me. I'll be having 4, and depending on if Dre is involved, I'll be having 5 different conversations at once, but my energy shifts every conversation. So, so all these different people are getting because I have identified, okay, this person needs to be talked to this way, this person needs to get talked to this way, so everybody needs to be addressed with different energy. So now my energy is going up and down and around and all these different things, because these are all these things that all my children and my husband need in order for me to feed their particular soul. I'm not the same person for everybody. So when a kid identifies, hey, you treat them differently, yes, everyone needs to be treated differently. Yeah, I got my new flower down. Everyone needs to be treated differently, but they don't need to be treated different. You don't need to have favoritism. You don't need to feed more into one child than you feed into the other. You feed into them all equally, but you treat them in accordance to what they need to be okay. And you give your kids what they need to be okay by treating them all equally. But your energy and the way you communicate, the language that you use and the levels that you are, you know, I think it's so beautiful, and I know that it's on purpose. I always tell Dre, because someone made a comment, I can't think of who, it was Mad Mix. Mad Mix made the comment. She was like, you guys are a gorgeous couple. She said, you by yourself, Dre by himself, but together you guys are, you know, boom. And I have always said that to Dre in the respect that you and I came together, like you were doing whatever. Dre's always had appeal. He's always been magnetic. I think that's the word I want to use, where people, you know, he has a likable personality. He has a people person. Me, I've always had an energy where you're either going to be able to be around me because you're secure enough in yourself to be around me, or my energy is going to make you feel insecure. I don't know why. It's just the women in my family. And I say the women because I come from a family of women. I'm sure it's the men too, but the men are far and few in between. And the men in my family, never mind, that's not this conversation. But what I'm saying is I have really strong energy, and I've always had it. The only thing is now I know how to control it. Or I'm learning how to control it. I don't know if I'll ever figure out how to control this energy, but the day that I do, Lord Jesus, yes, it's going to be a day. But, you know, I have a very strong energy, and people can either be in it or they don't like me. They're like, I don't know, I just don't like her. I'm one of those people. But when me and Dre got together, Dre was probably like this, and I probably was like this, but we got together and we went like this. And Michael say, can you please be quiet? Mom's making a video, but you have to see these little shorts that Michael has on. Michael is committed to wearing Caden's clothes. Like, you keep telling Michael, you're like, Michael, the clothes are too big. He'll come and he's like, will you button these for me? And I'm like trying to squeeze them in there because he's always putting on Caden's clothes. So he has on these itty bitty, you know, European Speedo looking shorts. It's hilarious. If I catch him, I'll show you. And they're funny. They're funny. I love them. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Fans versus friends. So Bailey has this person on Snapchat. They went to school together, and something happened to where Bailey, I don't know how Snapchat works, so just give me a long-handled spoon or give me some grace because I don't know how Snapchat works. But anyway, somehow she communicated with this girl, and the girl didn't communicate back. And so Bailey's in this space where her cutoff game is strong. Her standards are like, she's raising her standards so quickly. I love it. I love it. You know, she just needs to be able to create those standards with boys and men, you know. And we all, whatever. She's doing good though. Anyway, she swiped up on this girl's story and the girl didn't. Hold on, y'all. The girl didn't communicate back. And so Bailey was like, oh, okay, it's cool. This isn't a value-add relationship anyway, so she deleted her. And it wasn't like I swiped up 10 seconds, delete. No, it was I swipe up 2 days later, you still didn't respond, then clearly you don't value this relationship the way that I... Shut my door, please. No, I don't want you to talk back. I just want you to shut my door. Shut my door.
What is to say? I'm so scared of going attention. It's not that scary.
And so, anyway, it's hard to keep my train of thought with so many things going on in the background. I apologize, and I appreciate your patience. I have to close my eyes so that I can try to stay focused. And that's why I always look off to the side, because I'm trying to stay focused. Anyway, it was a prolonged period of time, and this person didn't respond to Bailey. So she's like, oh, okay, that ship has sailed, moved on. She deletes her because Bailey only wants people in her orbit that feed her, not deplete her. And so the little girl messages Bailey on Instagram, and she's like, why did you delete me on Snapchat? And Bailey was like, well, I deleted you because I swiped up on your story and I said something to you and you didn't say anything back to me, so I figured we weren't communicating anymore. And she was like, oh, okay. And Bailey was like, would you like me to add you back? And the girl was like, no, I'm good. And then she deletes Bailey. I was like, oh, so she just popped in to try to check you. She didn't care if you were a friend. She just saw that you deleted her. Like, and I'm not going to say anything negative, but can you have that?
Yeah. I'm like 6 years old for this.
You can split it with your brother.
But he already have one.
He already has one? But you're actually asking. I appreciate you asking. I can't open it for you because my hands... Go see if your sister... I can open it with my teeth, but try to get your sister to open it for you. But who told you can have that? Go put it back.
Look.
Did you come in here to ask?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because I haven't heard you ask yet.
Oh, Dad, have one.
Sure. Thank you for asking.
Look.
Michael can open it for you.
Why
do you keep stepping on my light?
Look.
Can y'all pay attention? Both of y'all, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Look.
Ooh, you open it on your own. I'm so
Yeah.
impressed. I'm impressed with both of you. Good job, boys.
We are strong.
You are strong.
Making sure my backpack is in your closet.
I know you found the smallest shorts. You found the smallest shorts you could find to put on, Michael. Come show me your shorts. Yep, you went and found the smallest shorts you could find.
Yep, I found my baby shorts.
Yep, your baby shorts.
Okay, so go on mine. Put the top on. Put the top on. That's mine. Put the top on. That's mine. Do on my bed. I'm ready them. Okay, my backpack is in.
Can y'all see him?
So you can know where it is.
Okay, thank you for putting.
Put on my bed with home. Door bed. He bought door bed.
You put on your pants?
Yes.
But they were his pants first, and then he outgrew them, and then you absorbed them. So technically, they're his as well.
No, he bought those things like heaven. So this don't taste like heaven.
It doesn't taste like heaven?
Yes.
Well, who has really experienced heaven to know what heaven tastes like? And does heaven really have a flavor? All right, out. Thank you.
And red.
It is red. Good job.
Beat the onion.
Okay, bye-bye.
Look, watch this.
Whoa, that's cool.
Beat the.
Whoa. I see what you did there. Bye.
Bye.
Anyway. Bye.
Bye.
You can't take back a hand-me-down. That boy gonna squeeze his big butt in a 12T. I have all their baby clothes up in the top of their closet, and they got into those boxes. It upsets me, but hey, it's whatever. They're just sitting up there, so I have to choose my battles. But Kaden and Michael both came in here in these old costumes, and they're like scrunched in them like this, and they're like, Mom, can you help me? No, I can't help you. Take that little thing off. They're hilarious. So anyway, the chick confronts Bailey, not because she values the friendship, and we know she values the friendship because when Bailey said, hey, did you want me to add you back? She would have said yes. But she didn't care if Bailey was her friend. She wanted Bailey to be her fan. And she was like, you're not sitting and observing me and watching me anymore, and I want to know why. And I'm going to confront you, not because any value is there outside of you were part of my fan base. So we have to do not come in here again. Out. No, I'm done. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I love what it says. Go. Go. You don't get to tell Kaden to be quiet so I can work, and then you come keep disrupting me so I can stop working. Both of you exit and shut the door and don't come back.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. You know, so we have to be careful. Are we surrounded by, and are we seeking fans? Are we seeking fans or are we seeking friends? Or are we being fans or are we being friends? If we are sitting and we are expecting to receive, but we are not willing to give, we want fans. If we want people to call us, but we can't turn around and call them, we want fans. If we want people to make efforts and invite us out, but when we go out, we don't invite them out or even think about them, we want fans. So are you being a fan or a friend? And are you collecting fans or are you collecting friends? Like, we have to pay attention to that because of the way that we treat each other. We don't treat each other like we value that relationship at all. But when that relationship ends, we go and call and say, hey, why did this relationship end? Because I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your fan, and I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I'm not. I was looking for friendship here. And if you can't give me friendship, i.e. equal respect, I message you and I swipe up on your story and I say something to you and you can't say something. You can't give me the basic human decency to respond to me. You want a fan and I'm not a fan. I could be your friend, but that's not what you want. All right, let's see. Carby, experience that I got like that. If I feel like you don't care if we're friends, then I'm good. Yeah, you gotta protect your peace. I like you, Carby, because you set your standards at the beginning of our relationship. You said, I don't like when it's a one-sided communication, and when it becomes that way, I exit the relationship. You let me know that in the beginning. And so now I have your standard of care instructions, i.e. I know how Carby rocks. So if I want to rock with Carby, I need to give Carby what Carby needs. But how can I give Carby what Carby needs that also fulfills me? So I'm not going to be your lapdog, but I know I'm going to check in on you when I don't hear from you. I know that it's not just you reaching out for me, I'm reaching back. I'm doing those things and I'm reciprocating because in the very beginning of our relationship, you let me know how you get down. And for me to choose to be in this relationship, that means that I am choosing to align with how you get down. But also when you told me your standard of care instructions, I told you my standard of care instructions. I was like, okay, I'm not the best communicator. I'm really, really busy, but I will make my best effort. Now you have an expectation of how I'm going to respond to this relationship as well. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you want to be communicated with. And when I do feel, or I catch on that I have lapsed in my communication, I come back and I say, hey sis, not ignoring you, not da-da-da-da-da, how's everything going? So I check in with you, but I also let you know, I know that I am not aligning with your standard of care instructions, but please don't take this personally. So I also always let people know, hey, one of the Michael's play date buddies, his little girlfriend, who's no longer his girlfriend because I guess the summer broke them up, I don't know. But the mom messaged me yesterday and was like, hey, can we have a play date? And I was like, hey, yeah, we can. And I apologize that I haven't initiated any of the play dates, because equal energy, right? Do you want a fan or do you want a friend? I'm building friendships here. I'm building relationships here. So I said, I'm sorry that I haven't initiated any play dates. Michael hasn't asked. And she's like, that's fine. My child asked. So if you want to get together, we can. But, I acknowledge that I have not done my side of the work. But here's why I haven't done my side of the work. Play dates are for the kids. They're not for us. And I enjoy our conversations, but I'm not going to force my kid to play with your kid just because I want to have a conversation. We can go out for drinks, but I don't think that we're on that level, I don't really know. I like talking to her. More so talking at her. She's not a big talker. But, I run my mouth. I don't like to talk to people, but if I'm in a position where I have to talk, clearly I'll talk. I blocked someone on TikTok because she was ignoring my text and me on TikTok. You got to clear your space, and people say that you're being petty and, you're being overreactive. No, I think that you should allow. For everybody doesn't know how to communicate, and that's the problem. People are uncomfortable with communication, and that's even a bigger problem. They don't know how, and they're uncomfortable. And they're uncomfortable because they don't know how. So why doesn't a person know how to communicate? Because they were never offered any opportunities to communicate. And communication is completely different than talking. And so we have to allow for a space of communication, but I already know how you get down, Carby, so I'm sure you let your standards of care or standards be known up front. And this person, most people agree to someone's standards up front because they just want what they could get from this person. Whatever I have identified in you, I want that, and I'm willing to agree to whatever's necessary in order to gain access to that. I don't have to have any genuinity in the agreement, but I'm making it so that I can get close to you because I want what it is that you have, and I've identified it in you. And so people will say whatever's necessary, but it's very difficult for them to do. And we keep giving them chances and we keep giving them chances. We have to determine how many chances we give before we block. And if you call that doing too much, well, you're doing too little. In order to have access to me, you got to do a little bit more. But I'm sure there's plenty of people out there you could do bare minimum with, and you should go find those people, because I'm seeking people who meet and match my value. But when I blocked her, she texted me so much because she lost access to me whenever she wanted. Exactly. People are voyeurs. People are voyeurs, and people find their validity. And this goes back to the Al Bundy syndrome that I identified at the beginning of, Spirit's always going to figure this shit out for me, this stuff out for me. That roots back to the Al Bundy syndrome. You know, my value is in my fan base, not my friend circle. My fan base, i.e., how many onlookers and gawkers and how many people look up to me simply for the fact that I exist. And if I lose one of those people who, like, okay, I'm going to say it. I think it's so freaking weird. I don't know. Do they give you a notification that somebody unfollows you? How do you know someone unfollows you? Like, are you really checking your follow list? Or do you go, that means that you are going and stalking and gawking on somebody, and now you've lost access. So instead of communicating and being a friend to me, you just like the voyeur in my life. And now that you've lost access to voyeur in my life, now you say something to me. But all this time, you've just been silently voyeuring in my life. And I'm not saying that's a negative, that's a positive. I don't know how that all works out. Because there's some people who just aren't engagers, but they want that engagement. So I'm not going to say that's a negative, where people will silently be around. And just because we're communicators, we have to give grace to people who aren't comfortable in that. Their level of comfortability is, hey, I just want to hang out with you, but I just want to be silent. I'm going to kick it in the corner. I ain't even here. I just want to be in the room. So those people aren't going to be the ones who communicate. But this is not friendship. Friendship is different. Friendship, we have standards and requirements. But I'm just thinking, you know, there are people who are just observers. They're not communicators. And we don't need to look at them in a negative light, like they're doing something wrong. That's just not their comfort point. Oh yeah, but the Al Bundy syndrome, you seek those fan bases. You don't seek friendship, because you probably don't even know how to have true friends. You probably don't know how to be a true friend. See, I tried to get back on that Al Bundy syndrome. It's still developing. But when I blocked her, because she lost access to you, then tried to flip it on me when that was the second time she rubbed me wrong. Yep, you need to set those boundaries. He can't take back a hand-me-down. Oh, he's old. I was about to say something that we're not allowed to say anymore. But yeah, he's old. I gave it to you, and now I'm going to take it back looking ass. You know, always do that. Yeah. Thank you, Carby, for communicating in the chat. I appreciate you helping keeping the conversation going. No, she stops responding to my comments and live streams. Now we went from group chatting and video calling in a group to not talking. Yeah, so I don't know. It's all communication. All relationships are the same. I'm coming, and it's not good that they're all the same. We shouldn't have the same intensity, but I'm realizing that a lot of people are holding relationships in the same value, like best friends and all that stuff. Yeah, y'all pretty much are in a relationship, but y'all aren't fucking, and we know this because you get jealous when your friend has other friends. Or I was watching Seduction. I made a video about it. It's that hot boiling mess of, like, whoever wrote that script. I can't think of the word. It's fatal seduction. I don't know. But the script was a hot boiling mess. But God, I forgot what I was saying. I spent so much time trying to figure out the name of the movie, I forgot my point. Oh yeah, so there's two little girls who are friends, and they're like, and Bailey told me this is a thing. I just thought they were just trying to add a lesbian scene into it. I was like, okay, insert the lesbian scene, you know. But the lesbian scene never happened. And then I'm talking to Bailey, and she said that's just what her generation does. her generation, the girls feel on each other, and you know, they do all this everything short of fucking, like, they don't identify as lesbians, but they literally be touching each other and grinding on each other. Just, I don't know, I don't get it. And I'm not being judgmental. What I'm saying is, I'm watching this scene in this movie where these two girls are dancing, they're best friends, and you know, it's a real energetically sexy scene where these two little girls are, you know, this close to each other and dancing, you know, rubbing on each other and all these different things. And I was just like, okay, so she's going to, this is her character. No, this is just how girls are. I'm like, what? Because when her actual lesbian friend tried to push up on her, she's like, no, I'm good. I was like, sis, you were just dancing with her like this and, you know, titty to titty, like. And now when the girl tries to push up on you, you're like, no, I'm not that way. I'm so confused. Like, and Carby said her generation too. I come from the generation before. Like, I watched when girls started dancing on each other, and I was like, oh, is this what we're doing now? Huh. Now, I will say that I would pretend gay when guys would come and start messing with me, and I'd be like, no, this is my girlfriend, and we'll dance together, but we are not, you know. So it's a different world that my kids live in, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But that relationship, watch that relationship. If you watch Fatal Seduction, watch the little girl's relationship with her best friend. Because that's what I mean. And that's why everything's a classroom. I don't watch TV just to watch TV. I don't do nothing just to do it. I am soaking up game everywhere I go. And the little girl's friend, the little girl, there's a black girl and a white girl. Black girl is not gay. White girl is. I'm going to identify them by their races. So the little black girl, somebody starts texting her, and I'm not going to tell you the movie, but I'm going to give you enough so that I can make my point. Somebody's texting her, and she's texting this person, and so her little friend, the white girl, is like, who are you texting? Stop texting. You're texting them too much, and steals her phone and like all these different things, and just like, sis, we're friends. Why do you care? You need to pay attention to me. Sis, we're friends. Why do you care? And she's like getting mad at her because she's paying attention to someone else besides her. And I'm like, y'all, these are just relationships without sex. That's all these friendships are. And that's why they're so volatile. That's why we get so possessive of our friends. We just say, no, it's because I love you. No, it's because you're in love with them. It's because you have put that person in a box that you would put your spouse. That's why when your friend gets a spouse, you get jealous. Why? Because now your friend is cheating on you, and we even call it cheating. And we even have a problem with the spouse because the spouse is taking attention from us. We have to pay attention to that because we have all these perverse relationships. And then when someone else actually enters into the picture, now our relationship is all messed up and we feel betrayed and we feel all these different emotions. But we shouldn't have been in that space to feel that way in the first place if we identified the fact that, hey, these emotions and feelings that I'm feeling are starting to cross over into the lane that it doesn't need. And no, there's no sexual attraction there. But the possessiveness and the you need to act this way. You know, there's a difference between standards and possessiveness. You can have standards, but hey, who are you texting? You're texting too much. You need to be paying attention to me. Hello? Like, that's relationship stuff. It's weird. Anyway, I'm supposed to stop at 2 o'clock. It is 2:30, but I saw my friend Trinity hop on and I wanted to give you something to watch. So I ran my mouth a little bit longer. Victims, are there levels? Is there? What do y'all think about victims? If somebody's in a relationship, in a bad relationship, because I posted that video where that guy hit the girl over the head with the pillow, and somebody said, oh, we have to be careful that we don't victim blame. And I was like, I don't consider her a victim. And she's like, you mean to tell me that da-da-da? I was like, no, anyone who chooses, I don't consider them victims. And then she was just like, victims, she pretty much said what that girl is experiencing and being essayed is on the same scale. I was like, that's asinine for you to say that someone who sat down in a strategy meeting and said, hey, this is going to be an amazing prank. We're going to get tons of views, you know, and allowed that to happen is in the same category of me going to a party, getting roofied, and then getting gangard. We're both victims? I don't think we are, but is there levels to victimization? But I don't think if you choose to subject yourself to something that you can then turn around and say, I'm a victim. I don't think so. But what do I know? I think victimization and victimhood is a space that people live and allow themselves to stay stuck. I have been victimized, but I am not a victim, which means a victim lays down and lives in that space. Someone who has been victimized is someone who something has happened to them, but they're able to use that and move forward. So therefore, I have never been a victim in my life. I have chose every circumstance with the awareness that I had at the time. The issue is I did not have enough awareness to choose better for myself. But I allowed every single circumstance that happened to me. And I don't feel that I ever was a victim, especially when I can take that stuff and now I can sit and have a conversation about it, and I can not only empower myself, but I can empower others, and I can also help other people identify certain things. Like Harvey recognized when she was developing an eating disorder, she stopped it. When I recognized I was developing an eating disorder, I stopped it. And so now we can take these past experiences, instead of living in victimhood and saying, woe is me, we can actually take those and move them over into the category of, this happened to me, how can I use it to progress myself forward? Somebody on the live yesterday said they're thankful for all the bullshit because all the bullshit shaped who they are. They are who they are today because of the bullshit. And I was like, that's right. But the thing is, we carry and we adapt to that bullshit as long as we need to, and then it's our job to move past it. We don't need to continue to carry the baggage of yesterday into today. We will never achieve the future that we see for ourselves or we desire for ourselves because we are being laden or burdened by the baggage of yesterday. The bullshit that shaped us for today was necessary to shape us for today. But what's necessary? Hold on, my landscapers are here. What's necessary for us to navigate tomorrow, we must release and learn from yesterday. They do skits like Cardi said, they do anything for clout. Man, it's freaking crazy. I don't live in that world, so I don't see what's going on. And the way that I came across that video was somebody stitched it, duetted it, whatever it's called. And I was just watching that video and I was like, my God, that's terrible. And it was terrible on so many levels. Let's talk about how terrible that video was. And if you haven't seen the video, it's on my page, where the guy is hitting the girl over the head with the pillow. It's pretty much the only video where it's not my face or a family member's face. It's a girl sitting in a chair. That video was terrible because how hard he hit her with that pillow. Somebody pointed out the way that he positioned his hand. His hand was so high up on the pillow that when he slapped her, he actually slapped her with his hand. And if you think about his hand making contact with her face at the rate that he hit her, he literally slapped the shit out of her. And she was in the middle. Her tongue was hanging out of her mouth, so she definitely bit her tongue. And I know we've all bitten our tongue. We've accidentally bit our tongue. Can you imagine being hit like that with your tongue in between your teeth? she's lucky she didn't bite her tongue off. She flew to the floor, and if it was a skit and he cared about her, he would be like, oh shit, my bad, and helped her, you know, like no, he continued the skit. And then he may have checked on her, but I doubt it. You know, him like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. And probably I'm thinking the way his energy, because I watched other skits, I was just like, his energy seems to be the way that, you know, if she would have said something, he'd be like, stop complaining. We about to get views. You know, like, fuck your feelings. We about to get views. You know, it also was just problematic, his energy, because I also posted the other video where they're dipping Oreos in her mouth. And I'm like, first of all, when his other friend came into the video, I was like, well, this is your carbon copy, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, this is a fucking, him and his homeboy, this is a relationship. They literally look alike. They got the same fucking hairstyle. I don't know if you're modeling me or I'm modeling you, but you guys are carbon copies. But you want us to sit here and respect you for what? You don't even know who you are. You have chosen your identity based off of your homeboy. And your homeboy, you chose your identity based off of your homeboy because your homeboy is getting more attention than you. And in our society, we're like, attention, 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 whatever for clout. Do anything for clout. And so he sees his friend. He looks like this. He dresses like this. He talks like this. He treats girls like this. And he's getting, you know, he's getting money. He's getting all these different things from being this way. So therefore, I must model myself after this individual. So when his friend came into frame and I saw that his friend was just a carbon copy of him, I was like, how lame are these men? They don't even know who they are. They are literally modeling themselves after each other. Go look at a group of guy friends. They literally all dress the same. They all talk the same. They all do everything the same. Probably girls too. But I'm talking about men because men think that they're so, you know, oh, and we treat them that way. But the truth is, they are just lost puppies following the other. They're lemmings. They follow the next fucking lemming, and if the lemming jumps off the goddamn ledge, they're jumping off the ledge with them. Why? Because they're all group thinkers. The most problematic person in our society is going to be a black male to me who doesn't know who he is. But he has potential to be very powerful if he starts figuring out who he is. But most are so stubborn, and they think that they know who they are simply because they have black skin and they're men. So they will fight evolution. They will fight change. I literally have fought my husband for 5 months to get him to accept. Have you peaked? Have you reached your pinnacle? Is this all the growth that you're capable of doing? No? Oh, I put it that way. Now you know there's potential for growth. But for me to say that you can always be better, you can always do better, you receive that as me saying you're doing something wrong. No, I'm not saying you're doing something wrong. I'm saying you can evolve and be better. Have you reached your peak? Shut my door. If you have not reached your peak, then you can always grow and evolve. But most black men, because I'm talking to my community, but you apply it however you want to, most black men will peak in high school and they will replicate who they peaked at in high school, especially if they got attention. If they did not get attention, they will continue to improve upon themselves until they start getting the attention that they seek. And once they get the attention that they seek, they will stop improving upon themselves. And they will also stop improving upon themselves because what they're trying to, I'm sorry if y'all can't hear me. I should move into the closet, but I don't want to move into the closet. I can move into the bathroom. I can stop talking. Can y'all hear me? Anyway, men. No, Daddy didn't buy you yogurt.
He did.
No, Daddy bought him yogurt. So no, you cannot eat Daddy's yogurt. Did Daddy buy the small cups of yogurt or there's just a big yogurt?
The yogurt and the mother.
There's a small yogurt?
Yes.
Show mommy this. Do you have to go pee?
No.
Then stop holding yourself. Go show me the yogurt you want to eat and I'll tell you if you can have it or not. You know, in our society, money Money attracts your circle. Some of us, energy attracts our circle. Dre's energy attracts his circle. But most people, in order to get the women, in order to get the attention, to get all those things, in order to be popular, money, not character, not value, not anything. Most of the people who have people around them and are popular are assholes, but they got money. So when I watched that video and I just watched that disgusting behavior, I was like, why would a human like that even have people around them? Like, what are the standards of the people who are around them? What are the standards of the people who are around them if they accept someone who just carries himself like that? It's terrible. All right, it's too loud, so I'm gonna go. He's listening on the low because he said, don't touch daddy's yogurt. Ah, yeah. These kids. My hubby's probably like, what she listening to? They do skits. All right, y'all, I appreciate you. I can't focus with this goddamn leaf blower. I don't know what this live, but I appreciate you guys sticking in there. I've been rambling. Like, this one has felt like a ramble. This hasn't felt like any type of cohesion. I haven't been able to get in my bag. I don't know. I'll upload it because, shoot, somebody may have got something from this. I got 4,000 likes, so there was something in there somewhere, and I appreciate every single one. I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll go live again tomorrow.